ओके वेलकम बैक गुड मॉर्निंग पिनाकल 2027-2028 या दिव्या तबस्सुम गंभीर भवानी शिवानंद राणा पुष्पिता Priyanka Shukla. Okay, good morning everyone, welcome back. So we are discussing prehistory. Till now we have seen Paleolithic age and Mesolithic age. We'll be starting with the Neolithic age today. Yes, Pankaj Achal Jain. Let's see if this works today. Okay. Okay, so let's get back. So till now what we have seen. Yeah. So we're discussing Paleolithic age. We had seen it was mostly about food gathering and hunting. There was a band society, and we saw there was a continuous or constant, you can say, evolution. Yes, see, gradually this man is evolving. He's becoming smarter. Tools are also evolving. Yeah, tools are also evolving, and what we are realizing that gradually there are more sites in India we have found as we move further towards the Iron Age or the 1000 BC. We realize there are more sites, and also gradually what we are observing is this cognitive development, it basically transforms into cultural modernity by the time we reach Mesolithic era. Yes, so let's do a quick revision. Yes. Yeah, okay. So you have to tell me. There are four options: lower Paleolithic, middle Paleolithic, upper Paleolithic. D, let's take it as Mesolithic. Mesolithic age. And E is all. No, E is none. Something like that. Okay. So from where? From where we started primitive agriculture? I hope you have revised. Yeah. At which point we started primitive agriculture? Primitive agriculture. Any idea? Early rudimentary start of the agriculture. Yeah. Is it D? Okay. Great. Okay. So it's Mesolithic. Okay. Tell me from where, at what point we started using flake tools. Flake tools. Flake tools. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. Yeah. Yeah. Is it middle Paleolithic age? At what point we started having cave paintings? Flake tool is what, B? Okay. At what point we started to have cave paintings? Cave paintings. Cave paintings. Yeah. Okay. So first time we had cave paintings was Upper Paleolithic, and not Mesolithic. Mesolithic cave painting is a characteristic of the Mesolithic. And we had best type of you can say paintings in the Mesolithic, right? And it had evolved very mature in cave paintings in Mesolithic. But if we say started in Upper Paleolithic age. Okay. Tell me at what point we got incised eggshells ostrich eggshells, incised eggshells. Yes. See, it is very important to revise. Yeah, you need to study on your own, and it is not revision right now. It is like self-study. After the class, please do study. Don't just watch the videos. Very important. Very, very important. It will help you assimilate. Yeah. Yes. So incised eggshell. Tell me, incised eggshell is something which is started in upper paltic. है ना? तो हाँ, तो see, okay, see, okay. Tell me some sites, है ना? Give me at least one site where we found incised eggshells. One site. One site for incised eggshell. Yeah, quick. Yeah. Patne. Patne, Jwalapuram. Okay, very good. Patne is in Maharashtra. And Patne and Jwalapuram is in Andhra. Okay, okay. Then at what point we started domestication of animals? Domestication of animals. Domestication. Quick. When did we start domestication of animals? Domestication. Okay. Okay. Tell me the earliest site found in India for cave paintings. Domestication is obviously Mesolithic. Mesolithic. Mesolithic is D. D for domestication of animals. Yeah. Cave paintings. The earliest cave paintings found was in earliest cave paintings found. नहीं हो रही है पढ़ाई. Earliest cave painting. Parv, Sohagi Ghat. Very good. Right, it is actually Sohagi Ghat, not Bhimbetka. Sohagi Ghat. Bhimbetka is very later development. Bhimbetka is like 1957. Very late. This one is somewhere in 1860s. 1863 somewhere. Yes, Sohagi Ghat. So earliest painting we have discovered, or the first painting we discovered was Sohagi Ghat, right? In the world, we had discovered the first painting, which was Sohagi Ghat. It is not the earliest painting painted, but it is the earliest found. Yes, Sohagi Ghat. Now another thing is, okay, one more, last question. Tell me, Pallavaram is associated with which era? Pallavaram, Pallavaram. Sohagi Ghat, Mirzapur. Please revise, है ना? Please revise. Very, very important. More important than the class. The important thing is not the class, but your self-study. that you need to self-study. Yes, Pallavaram. Okay. Give me three more sites of lower Paleolithic age. Three sites of lower Paleolithic age. Let's see if you can do this. Three sites of lower Paleolithic age. One is Pallavaram. Do not tell me Pallavaram again. Pallavaram is a three sites of lower Paleolithic age. Yeah, Renigunta, Bori, Pahalgam, Kalpi, Bori, Kalpi, Hansgi, Hathanora, Bori, Hathanora, Bori, Pallavaram, Atirampakkam. Okay, good, good. Okay, tell me three sites which are present over all the three ages. All the three. Karnool, Janvi, you don't have to ask question. You have to give answer. Sir, Karnool है क्या? Sir, Karnool भी है क्या? Karnool is upper Palse, bone tools. Yes, yes. Three sites which are present over all the three ages. Renigunta, Bhimbetka, and Deedwana. Very good. Yes, so it is actually Renigunta. Very important sites. Renigunta, Bhimbetka, Deedwana. Yes, these are the three sites which are present actually over all the three spaces. Tell me the site which is the earliest or the best documented site of domestication of animals. Domestication of animals. One site which I had asked you to remember for domestication of animals. What is that particular site known for, famous for? Domestication of animals. Earliest evidence of domestication of animals. Which site? Yeah, Adamgarh. Very good. Adamgarh. Yes, Adamgarh. Okay. Last question. Microlith is the characteristic of microlith. 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 It's not Bagor, it's Adamgarh. Adamgarh is domestication of animal. Microlith. Microlith is Mesolithic. Okay. Tell me the best site of microlith. Largest microlithic site in India. Which one is that? Microlith. Example of microlith site. One of the best microlithic site. Its largest microlithic site we have is Bagor. Good. Right, it's Bagor. Okay, okay. So write down one question. Trace the evolution of man with respect to India. And a very simple question. over Paleolithic age. Yes, very simple question. Straightforward. Trace the evolution of man over Paleolithic age. Compare it with Mesolithic era. Okay, Hannah, so you'll write this answer, and not today, not in the class, after the class. After the class, you'll write this answer. This will also become your notes, right? If you basically inculcate everything in this, this will also become your notes, your understanding. You are writing it. Also, do not go for Hannah, sir. Technically, I don't know how to write UPSC answer. It does not matter, Hannah. It does not at all matters. You have already written a lot of answers in your class, in your classes, right? K-12. When you were in class 10th, 11th, 12th, then graduation and all, you have written a lot of answers. So assume it is not a UPSC question. It is actually not. It is not a UPSC question. Take it like it's your graduation question, class 12th question or something. Whatever way you want to write, right? I want you to write actually. And intent is writing. Intent is not how technically sound you are. Intent is you will brainstorm, you will think about this. Yes, and you will write. Writing is more important. How you will write, what you will write is not that much important, but how you are writing something, that is more important. This will also become your notes. Write the notes the way you want. You wanted there should be some, you can say, in how many words? There is no limit as such, but since you are asking, so 300 words. Yes, so you can go for the explanation how the evolution started. One structure I'm telling you. Start with lower Paleolithic, right? Or let's say discuss Paleolithic first, right? Structure can be something like this. Discuss Paleolithic in general. Then discuss how lower Paleolithic evolved. Then what are the characteristics of middle Paleolithic age? What are the characteristics of upper Paleolithic age? And then compare with Mesolithic. What is happening in the Mesolithic? How it is different. Yes, Hannah, what all new things are happening in Mesolithic? Something like that you can write. Yes, Hannah, so how much, whatever length, whatever, even if you write in 200 words, that is fine. 250 words, that is also fine. Right, Hannah, 300 words, that is also okay. So time and word is not a limitation over you right now. Right, Hannah, just write. Hannah, just write. This will give you better understanding. Also, this whole topic will become yours. Right, Hannah, you will be pro into it. Also, everything, right, in UPSC, it is very, very important to substantiate. If you're writing about lower Paleolithic era, please give examples, right? There are some sites we have found for lower Paleolithic age. Middle Paleolithic age, for everything you'll give examples. This is found here, this is found here, this is found here, something like that. There are two Baghor, one Baghor is in MP, one is in Rajasthan. Yes. Then same for upper Paleolithic age, do give examples. Upper Paleolithic age is the characteristic of which site or something. Yes, so important sites you have to. One or two sites for everything. That site will become yours now. Right, once you write that site in the answer, it is your site. Now you recognize that site, you know it very, very well. Right, now whatever way you want to write, you can. You can refer to notes, you can revise from the notes first. You can revise from the compilation, whatever way you want to do it, and then write this answer. Right now, it should be a fair answer. It should be part of your copy. Immediately after, maybe you can leave 2-3 spaces. Immediately after whatever we have discussed till now, leave 2 pages, 3 pages or something, right? And then you can add it. Did one is Rajasthan. Yes, है ना? So you write this. Okay, let's go ahead. So we have seen all this now. Now let's go back to the timeline. We are discussing this song, will not make sense, will not look as good if there was no agriculture. Right? In fact, this song will not happen if there was no agriculture. So till now, what we have seen that around 10,000 BCE, Holocene started, climate change started, and now this is a transition phase. Right, in a transition phase. So Mesolithic, we have discussed, it's a transition phase. We started domestication of animals. We became nomadic pastoral. Right now, so we were into nomadic pastoralism now. Microliths is the characteristic tool which was being made by Chakodini, Chult, Jasper, etc., etc. Now there are some temporary settlements and all. Now we also started to have burial. There were some goods inside the burial as well, and primitive agriculture, somewhere started over here. Yes, some important sites what we had seen. The Baghor, Rajasthan is domestication of animal. Baghor, Rajasthan is basically characteristic site for microliths. Adamgarh is basically domestication of animal, best site. Rock art, Sohagi Ghat, Bhimbetka. And burial, 3 sites we had seen: Sarai, Nahar Rai, Mahadaha and Damdama. Now, at some point of time around 6000 BC. Now, 6000 BC is not the right spot exactly, but roughly we can say कि around 6000 BC, India began to experience agriculture. So, agriculture came into being. So, this is the era of agriculture. So, now we have agriculture. Yes, agriculture. Now, agriculture is something. Yeah. So, there is one archaeologist. Yeah. So, there is one archaeologist, V. Gordon Child. Yeah. Who says that agriculture is not just an event, it is basically a revolution. Yes, when we started the domestication of plant, it just not should be seen just as ki, now we have food security, now we have food, now we are the food producer. It's just not just that, it is beyond it. Now we have figured out something which is not just about food. Now think about this. So V. Gordon Child says ki, till now we were mostly dependent upon, let's write like this, ki initially we started with food gathering, but then we were bound to supplement this with the hunting. We became hunters, and then at some point of time, with the grace of God, we were able to add domestication of animal to it. Right? We must be wishing, right? We must be praying, कि please change this climate. This is very, very harsh climate. So climate got changed, and we added domestication of animal. And at some point of time, what we are discussing now is the addition of agriculture. Agriculture is nothing but domestication of plants. Yeah. So now this event is considered as a revolution. Right, this is a revolution. This is not just an event. It will change everything for us. Everything will be changed. Right now, how we look at life. Right now, about food and all. Everything about settlement and all. Everything is gonna change. Because think about this now. Till now, we were maximum what we were having was temporary settlement. Temporary settlement. But if you and me go and let's say we have a field now, right now we cultivate something. If we have this field now, can we migrate? Is it possible for us to migrate? This crop will take like 3-4 months, right? Now 4-5 months maybe. Will we be able to migrate? Is it possible for us to migrate now? Yeah. We are bound to live here now. Yes, we'll have to monitor the whole crop, right? And maybe some animal or something might come or something. Right? And that should not happen. We'll have to take care of this crop. We can't go anywhere. We are bound to settle. Yes. So agriculture automatically means now we are bound to settlement. Right now, first thing of course is about food security. Now we are food producer. Yeah, now we are food producers. Now we are not dependent upon if some plant is having or some forest is having fruits or not, whether we are able to hunt or not, whether we have a lot of animals or not. Right, it does not matter. We were not producing this, right? We were having it. But now we are food producer. Now it is basically dependent upon us how much we are going to produce, and we are going to survive. So survival somewhat you can say. Somewhat it is, you can say it is sorted now, right? Much sorted now, and now we are bound to live over here. Yes. So now we will settle. Now when we are settling down, right? So now don't you think we will ask our, let's say, cousin brother as well, cousin sister as well, ki if it is possible, can you also start cultivating over here? Right now I'm already here. Right now together we can stay here, and we can play cards. Right now we can play Ludo, we can play Pakadam Pakadai, whatever. So so it is better, right? We'll be entertained. Ki if we start cultivating together, and let's say you make a hut, I make a hut over here, you also make a hut over here. Right now together we'll be living. Yes, because now it is not about ki food is less or food is scarce something. You are producing your own food. I am producing my own food or something, or we are producing enough food for us. So then we can survive, no issues. And similarly, somebody else, family member, one more family member here, one more family member there, and now we can have a lot of huts. We can start to settle. Yes, so technically, the small settlement gradually can turn into villages. Till now, we were living as a band society. We are bound to survive as a band society. Yes, but now we are living into villages, or at least villages. We can say villages will also come later. Right? We become tribes where maybe 100, 150 people, 200 people can live together. Yes, and once this tribe becomes big, and we are basically pro into agriculture, we can say that this is a rural settlement. These are the villages. Yeah. And no more band society, no more band society. Now we are a tribe, right? We gel together, we play together, we sing together, we have dance, we have music and all. The point is now we have time. Earlier we were not having that much time, right? We had a limited time. Maybe we had invested that particular time in again painting, music, dance. It is not like we were not dancing earlier. We were dancing earlier. We must be having music earlier as well. But now, since we have a lot of time, now we can invest into a lot of things. Now we can even make products, right? It is possible. It is possible to have cultural development now, much better than the previous one. Yes. Now we can have a peculiar music, dance, not only dance, attire, clothes. Attire is clothes. Yeah, etc. Yeah, so now there can be more cultural development, and now we can have some products. We can build something. Now we can invest time. We can think about how we can have better house. Running a better house. Maybe cooking we will experiment. How we can have better cooking. How we can make it more tasty maybe. Yes, we can also think about the storage. This grain which we are producing, where to store this grain, right? So one of the basic problem is whatever is being produced over here. What about the storage? The storage is a question. Storage. Yeah. So somebody of us can come up with the idea of let's have some granary. Yes. Yeah. Let's build granary. How to build a granary? Maybe let's have some bricks. And initially it will not be brick as brick. It will be like sun-dried bricks and mud bricks. Mud bricks. That type of thought process. Let's have some mud bricks. What we'll do, we will basically use some mud and create a block of it, and we will put it in sun. It will be dried, so it can also be called a sun-dried brick. Yes, so now we have a brick which got dried into sun, and now we can make a house of it, right? House bole to hut of it, right? And a small house, maybe circular house, or maybe rectangular house, whatever way you want. And initially we'll start with circular, and then we can also have rectangular houses. Maybe we'll innovate. Let's have rectangular houses, square houses, and all. What about the roof? Roof. We can have some. You can say dried leaves. We call them reed. We can have reed to make roof. Right in villages we call it ratha. Using ratha and all. Chappar, you must have heard chappar. So now we can build that chappar. So now using reed and all, we can have roof. Yes. Now again coming back to granary. So now using these same you can say brick, mud bricks and all, we can have granary. And one more thing, somebody came up with the very fine idea of let's have pottery. If you are working into mud, right, and if you let's start working with mud, gradually you will have idea why only to make bricks. We can make something like a pot. Right, some bhagona type something, right? Then we'll have idea let's make it circular. है ना कि हाँ let's make it perfect circle or एकदम spherical or something. We can have water into it, we can have food into it, we can have grains into it. So gradually these ideas will come up. Till now we were very much busy, right? Till now we were into domestication, hunting, food gathering, we were into survival mode. But now agriculture changed everything. The best thing agriculture gave us was time. Right now we have time to think about all this. Now the food which we have, right, this is good enough. This is good enough as a food security, and now we can actually, we have this luxury of time. We can have this luxury of thinking and innovation. So a lot of innovation can happen now. It is not like we were not innovating earlier, but the speed of innovation, the speed of technological development will increase now, and we'll start to have a lot of these many things. So Neolithic is actually Neolithic revolution, because it is not only about food. It is about total cultural development, total economy development, total you can say settlement development. Everything changes with the agriculture. So it is rightly called as agricultural revolution. It was V. Gordon Childe who said ki it's a revolution, but we understand ki it is rightly called as agricultural revolution because it is not just we became food producer. We actually became a lot of other things as well. Did we understand this, everyone? Yeah. Now gradually, then after some time, maybe in the other age, not Neolithic, maybe in the other age, we start to sell this product, right? Once we start building these product, maybe at some point of time we'll start selling this product. Right, and maybe later on we can have currency for it, and we'll sell it, and in return we'll get something. Initially we'll start with barter system. We'll give something to you and you will give something back to me. Yes, so initially we'll start with barter system, but later on we can have currency for it. Much later, not in Neolithic age. Right, and much later. Now we can build upon this. Gradually it will keep on growing, we'll keep on innovating. More products will be formed, more things will be found. Now we can also invest time into finding. Right, and finding new things. Maybe now we can research for metal. Okay, somewhere we are not looking for metal, but now we have time to innovate. We have time to think. Maybe we'll burn some stone. We'll start melting some stone. Yes, we start melting some stone, and gradually we'll find that the thing which is coming out of that molten stone is maybe a metal, a copper. Right now we found copper and something like that. So now we have time to do all these things. Gradually these products and all will keep on adding, and at one point of time we'll even start selling them. Yeah. Okay, so let's not go too much into future. Let's get back to our Neolithic revolution. Yes, as I said, this is Neolithic revolution. Yeah, so Neolithic revolution starting in India somewhere around 6000 BC. It is not like there is no site before 6000 BC, but roughly we can say, and roughly we can say that we have archaeological evidence to support this. Yes, we'll see. Yashpal, wait for it. Right now, we will see that there are archaeological evidences, there are sites, and if you are writing about Neolithic revolution, you have to write all this. Yes, these are new dimensions opening up. Yes, okay. So let's talk about them. Okay. So now, in the world context, this agriculture actually started somewhere around 10,700 to 9,400 in the world context. Not important for us. It happened somewhere in Syria. Syria, and Syria you very well know. So Syria. So this is you can say for the world, you can say in the world context, this Iraq area, this particular area can be called as technological advanced area, right? Like technologically very advanced. They are the one who keeps on innovating. They are the one who basically keep on bringing new things. And if agriculture got invented over here, can we assume that gradually this technology will move to India as well? Transfer of knowledge. There is some gestation period. Yeah. So it started with Syria, and or basically the earliest evidence we have is in Syria, is in, let's say, Iraq area, Syria area, and all. Yes, but gradually it will come to us as well. That's how the knowledge transfer works. That's how migration works. And it is basically Western Asia who started doing all these things. They started cultivation, weaving, pot making, house building, domestication of animals. Even eventually, not like immediately. Eventually, they will even have writing. Right? Like they will innovate. We can write something. Yes, they will start writing as well. But for us, it is roughly 6000 to 5000 BC. This knowledge will come to us, and we will also start producing food. So now, what is happening? So now we are discussing Neolithic. Neolithic. In India, you can say roughly this is 6000 to 1000 BCE. If I'm writing something, it automatically means you also have to write. Yeah, okay. So Neolithic. So Neolithic. So we understood the first important thing is agriculture. We started to have domestication of plants. Just now we were discussing. Okay, now we have domestication of plants. Now we are into agriculture. Now, yeah, yeah. So now, so agriculture. So what did we grow? Right? And like initially, the earliest crops which we started to grow was horse gram and ragi. But again, it is not the only horse gram and ragi. We also had wheat, surprisingly, wheat, barley, and we also grew cotton. Yes, horse gram, ragi, even wheat. Wheat is important, right? Wheat is even today we are having wheat. Yes, so wheat, barley also we are having, or ragi also we are having. But my point is, wheat is a staple food for northern India. So we realized that wheat was started somewhere here only. We started growing wheat, yes. So ragi, wheat, barley, right? Na barley, ragi, right? Na jo hai, then cotton as well, cotton. If we have cotton, can we safely assume that now we will start to spin and make threads? Right? If we have, let's say, cotton flower, we'll have to stretch it out and we'll have to make a thread of it. Right? And then we'll have to spin it into some reel, and we'll make a thread. Like you must have seen reel in your house, not the Instagram reel, that thread reel. And earlier mothers and all used to have that stitching reel and all. Here that one. So how to now we'll have we'll start spinning and now we'll start weaving. That means we will also start to have cotton clothes. Yes, so spin and weaving. So we'll start spinning and weaving, and spinning and weaving. Yeah, we were discussing products, right? So now we have even cloth, textile as a product. Yes, so now once we have this cotton, textile, etc., now we can have different type of products as well. Now we'll come back to products, but another thing which we need for this, do we realize that this agriculture, this new thing, also need new types of tools? Yes or no? Yeah. See, family is a, you can say, is not something for which we have to become human. Are you getting a point? And a family is not something for which, to understand family, to understand child, to understand mating. Right now, we don't have to become human for that. Right? Animals also do all those things. So that understanding we had earlier as well, right? And it is not like we were animal before. Right? As an animal also, we have the understanding of mating, we have the understanding of family, right? And closed ones and all. You see families of the monkey, right? And they basically go together, move together, right? And elephants in the flock, right? And that kinship based you can say understanding, right? And this is my kin and we are close or something. That understanding we had earlier as well. As animal also we have that understanding. So that is not something which is human, right? And as a human now I know this is my family. No, right? And that already we had. And so now it is basically upgradation over it, something which animals can't do. Okay, tools. Okay, so tools. So now we have a different type of tools. Now what type of tools we are having? We are basically innovating, and one type of tool which is very particular over here, very important over here, is celt. Celts. What is celt? It is not like we'll forget all the previous tools. It is not like we'll forget food gathering. No, that is not the case, right? And we still are hunters. We will still hunt. We will still have domestication of animals. This is a new thing, right? In agriculture, it is not like we forget everything. If you have seen this movie Kantara, right? Kantara, you have seen that they have well-defined agriculture, but still they go and hunt. Why? That's the legacy. Right? It's not necessary to hunt, but still it is like it is with us. Right? We will be hunting. They will go and hunt. So similarly, though we have started doing agriculture, so first of all, society does not automatically switches. Ki now we know agriculture, we'll forget everything else. No, that is not the case. Switching takes some time. Right? Switching takes some time. Society takes some time to believe that now the food is good enough. So rest food gathering or hunting or domestication of animal, that can be left out. Also, we realize that even today we have domestication of animals. Right now, our farmers, they are into farming agriculture, but they also have animals. They have cows, buffaloes, goats, and so that mixed farming or that domestication of animals still exists. So we are not going to leave it. Ki haan, since because we have one source of food, we'll forget the other source of food. This is additional source of food. This is much better. Yes, we understand. But the previous sources of food will also be incorporated. Maybe our focus on them will reduce. Right? But they will still continue. We will still be the hunters only. We will still have domestication of animals. We will still be eating meat only. Meat and whatever we are growing. Yeah. So anyway, so CELT. So CELTs are the new type of tools we have. So since we are doing the previous things as well, it means CELT is also an addition. Right? The previous tools will exist, hand axes or let's say microlith tools, whatever we have made, that will exist. Maybe the number will reduce, but major focus will come to CELT. But still the previous tool will still coexist. Right? Maybe not in that number, but still it will coexist. Now, what are CELT? CELT is if you see, CELT is like this. Right? Yeah, like this one. Or recently we found a CELT. Let me show you. Recently, we found this CELT in Tamil Nadu, Putinatham village. Right, this is a CELT. Right, CELT. Now, this CELT of stone, the purpose of this CELT is to basically dig. Right, have you seen khurpi in your house? Khurpi. If you have some gardening in your house, your father or somebody is doing, you'll find there's a khurpi. Right, khurpi you can use a small favla type. Favla is big one, right? Favla. Here you have khurpi. Khurpi is small one where you can dig a little and then you can put some seed into it and it will grow. Right now, we are not into that mass production of food. Right now, we are basically very small in number. Right now, we are basically concerned with a small production of food that is good enough. It is not like here we want to have plow or we want to go deeper, dig deeper, something. That will come later on. Right now, we don't have plow. Plow, you understand? Hull and all we don't have. So, we have no idea of hull, plow. We have no idea of favda, hoe. Right, so hoe and plow and all we don't have. We have CELTs. And this is good enough for this type of agriculture. The kind of agriculture we are going to do today. That is good enough. Another important thing, this CELT or whatever tools we are making are polished. Yes, they are pegged. They are grounded. Now, what is pecking? First of all, talk about pecking. Pecking is assume that let's say this is one CELT. Right now, pecking is if I use another stone and I basically start hammering it. Right, I keep on hammering it. What will happen? This stone will get pulverized. This stone will get shrink and this will become very strong. Right now, because this is basically the density has reduced, the mass has compacted, so this becomes much better. Right, so this is very strong. Now it is very, very strong. Next thing I'm going to do is polishing. I will use something, some maybe other stone or something, right? I'll polish the whole thing. Now, polishing or grounding helps me. Reason, if it is let's say ubad khabad or if it is not polished, what will happen? If I basically dig it, this rough surface will basically strike the ground and gradually it will break. Right, because it is rough. But since it is smooth, it can easily penetrate into ground. Right, so that is the reason it is bound to be smooth. It has to be smooth. If you want it to work very efficiently, if you don't want it to break or something, it has to be polished. It has to be properly grounded, pegged. So now the tools which we are making, now you'll realize that these tools, they are polished tools. Right, let me show you a better one. Yes, this one. Right, this tool you see, this is polished. Now, it is not like, there will be no tool which is not polished or something. There may be, but the characteristic of this era is the polished, pegged, grounded CELTs. Right now, we can remember these 4 words. Polished, pegged, grounded CELT is the characteristic of this age. We will have some other tools like microlith or the hand axes or the blades and all. We'll continue having that. But now for agriculture purpose, this is the new discovery. This is the new technological innovation we have. Yes. Now again, we will prefer not to use quartzite, right? Now we will use quartzite, but it is not the preferred stone now. Reason: quartzite is very strong, and what we want to basically shape it into silt. So it is tough to shape a quartzite into silt. So that is the reason we'll use other stones, other type of stones. So there are so many stones which we'll use. Yeah. So there is one is flint. So flint we were already using in starting from the upper Palthic age. Now flint is still being used for microliths, for arrowheads, javelin heads, knives, scrapers, axes, etc., etc. So one type of stone which we are using is flint. Now the another type of stone is jadeite, diorite, schist. Schist is very common. Now this schist is the one which is used for making these polished celts and chisels and all. Right? So schist we can remember. For this celt, the best type of stone we have is schist. Yeah, but other than that, other tools we are having, right? And for flint we are using so many things. We are still using basalt, rhyolite, granite and all. Right? And we are making stone tools, bracelets, heads, chisels, polishing tools, etc. Right? There are other tools, but this schist is something which we can remember. This is important. So there are so many stones. We are still using wood. Of course, we'll keep on using wood. We will be using bones as well. Yes, we had started using bones in the upper Palthic age. Here also, bone is easy. You can dig into it, you can bore into it, you can drill into it. So you can make needles, scrapers, borers, etc., etc. Even bangles, earrings. You must have seen movies where the tribal person, right, tribe, they are having one you can say ornament, one mala, right, one necklace, and that necklace has bones. Even I guess this Black Panther also wears one you can say ornament, and Black Panther, I hope you know, right? I hope you know. Okay, so that he also wears this ornament, and that also has bones into it. That's a very common thing, right? And people do wear bones as the ornament. They'll make beads out of it. They will create ornaments out of it. They will create earrings, bangles, right? Even sometimes they have the head crown, right? They will use the head of the tigers, right? Tigers you must have seen. Beaded bone chains, so tigers you must have seen they will have whole tiger on them, right? I have killed a tiger and now I wear it on my shoulder as a matter of pride, I have killed this tiger, right? Remember, so that itself is a matter of strength, or basically a sign of strength. This person is very strong, he is the leader, something like that. Yes. So now all these things starts to happen now. Okay, so one thing what we are realizing now we have polished tools, celts. Now another thing is now because of the agriculture, we'll start to have sedentary living, settlement. We'll start to live together. Now the settlement, now the sedentary living can have something like, can be something like pit dwelling. Now pit dwelling is very basic thing. Pit dwelling is if I dig a pit over here and I cover it with some you can say plants, leaves, wood, etc., and I can stay inside. That's a very basic thing. I don't need anything else. I don't need a support structure. I don't need bricks or something. I just need to dig a pit and I live inside. That's a pit dwelling. Right now I can afford to have pit dwelling. Yes, and the one thing is pit dwelling, very basic, very common thing which we will start with. So pit dwelling. Second important thing is as we were discussing, now we'll have huts. These can be circular, these can be even square or rectangular something. We'll have mud bricks. We'll start to have mud bricks. Because mud brick is something which automatically will come to us. Something like this can happen. Right, and I can use this mud. I can basically collate it together and make a cube of it, and then I can dry it out, and then we can create a wall. Right, so this wall idea, right, and a mud brick idea. Now this will come to us. Now we can have a lot of things using these mud bricks and all. Yes. So now we have these houses as well. Yes. Another thing we were discussing is now because we have agriculture, the one thing automatically comes with agriculture is pottery, because now there is there is quest for storage. Now there is need for storage. I need something to store. So gradually this idea, because we are working into mud and all, gradually this idea will strike to us ki, we can make something like create a pottery or something. So initially we'll be creating, in the Neolithic age, we'll be creating very, you can say, rudimentary type of pottery. And now we can't flaunt it, but we have just started it, so we can flaunt it. Right, Anaki, this is a new concept, this is a new idea. And also pottery. So we started pottery, yes. So we started to have pottery as well. So initial pottery, you see, initial pottery is black burnished ware. In fact, one more discovery we will have gradually around 4500 BC to 3300 BC. One more discovery will be there roughly around 4500 to 3500 BCE is wheel. And most probably the idea of the wheel came from pottery only. Maybe. I know we are not very sure, but something like that might have happened. Ki haan, we were making a pot, and we wanted to have it as a, gradually we realized we can have a circle. Right now we wanted to have a perfect circle, so we started to rotate it, and then we realized ki, we can rotate the base. Right now, if we can start rotating the base, and from that rotation of base, this idea of wheel might have come. Yes, so wheel. So around 4500 to 3500 BC, we started to have wheels as well. Now this thing is rotating. Yes. So since it is rotating, now we can have these circular pots. So one of the earliest is black burnished ware, grey ware, matte impressed ware. So one of the earliest pottery is black burnished ware. You can write full form if you want. Grey ware, matte impressed ware. Yeah, let me show you. Let's go back. Yeah, so black burnished ware, grey ware, matte impressed ware. Now this BBW sounds like BMW, sounds like very posh, right? Sounds like very beautiful, but it is not so. Black burnished ware, and now think about this name. It is black, it is burnt. So gradually what we have realized, ki we need to make a pot, and then we'll have to put it into fire, so that it becomes stronger. So when we put it into fire, we don't know when to take it out, so it will get burnt. So initially the idea was ki, it should be fully you can say cooked, right? And it should be strong enough, so let's keep it into fire. So black burnished ware is something where you burnt it completely. It's black, right? Now it's black, it is burnt. So black burnished ware. Right now, gradually we realized ki, we don't have to burn this much. We can take it out earlier as well. So when we take it out earlier, it will become what? It will become grey, right? And not completely burnt. So it becomes a grey. So grey ware. Yes, matte impressed ware is what? Matte impressed ware is when you are making the pot on a mat. Right? Maybe not necessarily circular pot or something, on a mat, on chatai. Chatai, mat. So we are making the pot on the mat. So this is what? This is your mud. So that will have impression of the mat over it. So this will be called as matte impressed ware. Maybe they were not, intentionally doing it. They were just making pot on the mat. Yes, they were making pot on the mat, and that mat got impressed over the pottery, and we'll call it a new type of pottery. It is some mat impressed ware. Maybe they will like it. They'll be like, yeah, this is a good idea. This is a good design. So from there, they might have got this idea of design. Yeah, we can make something over it. We can design something over it. Right now, they'll start designing it. So mat impressed ware. So this is the earliest type of pottery. Then, yeah, this is the earliest type of pottery, which is mat impressed ware. So black burnished ware, matte impressed ware, etc., etc. Then we are talking about ki, gradually circular or rectangular houses, mud and reed and all. Even they'll figure out boats. Now again, for boat you need to observe that this wooden part is not drowning. Right, Anaki, there is some wood log, it is not drowning. We can make it a bigger log. Right, we can build something. Right, and we can have a very rudimentary type of boats. So they will start also start to have boats. We are discussing products. One product is, of course, pottery. One is boats. Yeah, so even boats they will make. Right now, again, this is not the boat, modern type of boat or something, but yes, they have boats. Now again. So yeah, so then textile is another type of product. Yes, cotton, wool. You know, initially they will start with cotton. They have sheep with them, so they have wool as well, right? Initially properties in common, but we'll discuss this. Pit dwelling we have already discussed. Pit dwelling something might look like this. I'll show you one more type of pit dwelling. But yes, one of the type of pit dwelling is कि हाँ we dig a pit and then we can make a room inside. This can be as advanced as this, or it can be as simple as he just dig a pit and sleep inside. That's it. Yeah. Now, burial we already have. Yes. So now the burial you see, the burial will be much more evolved now. The burials. So now we have settlements and now we also have burials. Burials. So burials we were anyway having previously as well. Black burnished, we put it on the fire and it got burnt. है ना Bhavani? That is how it became black and burnt, right? Black burnished ware. Because pottery has to be, you can say, cooked into the fire, right? And you have to put it in the fire. It will become sturdy, it will become strong, and then you can, take it out. But you have to take it out at the right spot, right? If you basically, let it burn, it will get burnt. And so that's how black burnished ware gets produced. Okay, so burials. So burials. So now what we are having? Now we are having, you can say, different types of burials. Right? Burial is also evolving now. Now there are multiple type of burials. Burials can be, yeah. So burials can be, simple, extended. Yeah. Okay. So burials. So burials we see, burials we will evolve further, but let's not discuss burials over here. Right now, so one of the burial, new type of burial we have is double burial system. Now this double burial we had seen in the Mesolithic age as well. So this is somewhat continuation of the Mesolithic only. So we can say ki haan, yes, one we here also we find double burial. Double burials. Plus normal burials, of course. Right now, plus grave goods will continue. Grave goods. Grave goods will continue. So yeah. And lastly, what we'll realize, कि हाँ, this is all gradually leading us towards tribal development. So earlier we were into now gradually will become tribes. And like now we'll call this phenomena, right? Exactly, this is not the tribe which, how we look at the tribes today, but somewhat like that only. Now it is like, no, we are no more living into band society. Now when we are not limited to, let's say, 20, 30 people, we can have like 100, 150 people with us. It's a kin based society, right? And to this tribe, this is mainly kin based. Let me show you a tribe. So like this one. It's a kin-based society. Yes, and like now what we are observing, gradually, with by living together, gradually the family will expand, and together they'll become one tribe, right? And a big family, very big family. This is a tribe. Now, since we are living together, and we are basically family, so do you expect that will there be any type of social or economic inequality into a tribe? What is your expectation? Are we expecting any inequality in this type of society, in this tribal society? Yeah. Are we expecting any inequality? We'll come to sites. We'll have a detailed discussion on sites, where we found what. But let's discuss the characteristics first, and then we'll discuss the all the sites. No, and it's more like, when you and all your cousins get together, right? It does not matter, who earns what, and how rich you are or something. It does not at all matters. You are family, right? So first of all, inequality is something which does not exist over here. What we have over here is common ownership. Yeah, and a common ownership. We have common ownership, whether it is land, whether it is food, whether it is clothes, everything is going to be common, right? It is like egalitarian society. Yes, correct. What is egalitarian? Okay, this is a egalitarian society. Nobody is rich, nobody is poor. All are equal in a tribe, right? Because it's a family. Now, because this family is living together, gradually, first of all, they will be speaking same language. Whatever it is, they'll be speaking same language. That is one thing. Yeah. So first of all, they'll be speaking same language. That is quite obvious. So the tribe will have a same trait. Now you must be having, first of all, even in your family, maybe with your cousins and all, maybe even you have a different language inside your family. Right or not, it's possible. There may be some code words which only your cousin understands. Right, and it's a possibility that you and your cousins have some bonding, and they have their own code words. Right. For example, one of my cousin used to call remote as tote. So now we all, somehow we call remote as tote only. Right, and so this happens because we are living together. Only we understand what tote means. Yes, है ना कि हाँ tote दे the tote. है ना, so that is basically remote. Similarly, there are so many other code words. So gradually, because they are living together, they have their own language. Also, your family might be having some, you can say, common music, common dance, right? For example, let's say there is your one cousin who also sings okay, not like very good singer, but he's okay singer. So since he's okay singer, he sings, you also sing along with them. So now there are few particular songs which are very common, very favorite amongst your family. Right now you only relate, you all vibe on those songs. Maybe if we listen to those songs, which you are vibing on, right? We'll be like, what type of taste you have. We might judge you, but you inside your family are very happy with those songs, right? You are singing with them. Maybe you are dancing on them. Maybe on DJ and all, when there is a family function, you have a particular type of dance as well, right? One of my mama is there, right? So he is very funny, and when he dances on DJ, he does something like this, something like this, some step he has. So wherever we have this function, we all get along, and we also start doing this only. Everybody is doing this only, right? We copy our mama, and whatever he's doing, we basically copy. So we have a particular type of dance as well. Right? So similarly, since they are living together, it does not matter whether it is classical dance, technically sound, very apt or something. No. It does not at all matters. Thing is, the family should vibe on it. So gradually they will have, their own music, language, dance, whatever. Right now, so they will develop their own culture. In fact, they will have their own artwork as well. Like we have tribal art today. Right now, there is some tribe who is creating a painting, let's say Madhubani painting. Right now, that is a peculiar type of painting we know today. And that is itself an art now. Yes, so something like that. They will have their own artwork. In fact, we will copy each other in the clothes as well, right? Clothes. For example, you look at him, he's wearing some hat like this. Right, this particular hat. He is also wearing this hat. Right now somebody might have started wearing this hat once. Right now, maybe some of the bua or some of the chachi had made this hat, and once they had that hat for their own child, other children also came to chachi, bua, ki bua, you don't love me, you have not made this hat for me, I also want to have this hat. Then bua made hat for everyone, and now that hat is the characteristic of the tribe. Everybody wearing that same hat. You realize everybody is wearing same cloth. If this person is not wearing this vest today, he will feel out of the place. He will feel like, I don't belong to this tribe, right? So he has to wear this, this cloth. Nobody is judging because everybody is wearing same clothes, same hat, same, you can say, same ornaments or something. And now whether we find them fashionable or not, beautiful or not, it does not matter. That family, that tribe is very happy with it, right? And that thing only matters. Our view, our judgment does not matter to them. So gradually they have their own culture. In fact, to all the kids or something, maybe Dadiji started telling some story. Yes, है ना कि दादी जी started telling some story that there was a demon, there was a pari, angel, there was a goddess or something. Gradually, those story will percolate generation by generation. Right? है ना कि that story, I'll know from my dadi, and I will tell my children. They will tell their children, and it will become a tribe story. Right? है ना कि हाँ, then once upon a time. Right? है ना कि it will become a story. In fact, that is how they will have their own deities. Right? है ना कि they will have their own deities. They will have their own bhoot. Right? है ना कि own ghost, own spirits, own superstition, everything. Right? So that is how these tribes will gradually have their own culture. Right? है ना? And it will be very different from the other tribes. So what we are observing is कि हाँ, tribes will have a peculiar culture with respect to music, etc., etc. Right? Now it's common ownership. Nobody is rich, nobody is poor. Right? Now money, wealth does not at all matters in a family. Yes, है ना? So it might be good for survival, but within a family, you hardly care about it. Okay, so now there is tribal development. Another thing which we understand about Neolithic era, that most probably this society, we are discussing basically what? We are discussing society. Most probably this society was patriarchal in nature. I'm sorry, my bad. Matriarchal in nature. Matriarchal should come like this because we have a color for matriarchy. Matriarchal. And not in reality, right? And we basically somehow distinguish कि pink is for women and girls and blue is for boys. And so let's go with the flow. So yeah, so matriarchy is there. Matriarchy. Now how matriarchy? Right? Maybe this matriarchy thing happened. Reason that man was mostly involved into hunting. Right? Man was busy surviving. He was going to forest and all. It's not like women will not go to, they will also hunt, but a lot of time, women is more involved with kids, women is more involved with maybe pregnancy or something. So there will be period when women will not go, and somebody has to take care of the woman as well. Now women taking care of the woman will be more, you can say, apt by the another woman. So the woman will basically stay back, and when woman stays back, most of them, not all of them, when they stay back, they will have time to think. So most of the innovation will be done by the woman only. Yes. So innovation is basically by the woman. In fact, it is believed that agriculture was figured out by a woman only. Right, she was the one who basically observed that we had thrown the seed, right, and a seed has given birth to a new plant, and now it is germinating, it is out, and we can do it artificially as well. So now she figured it out, and then she was the one who basically said let's do this, and gradually this agriculture was figured out. Maybe even pottery, it is believed it was figured out by women. Although there is you can say a statement in a very common understanding, which we can write for UPSC, that the pottery on wheel was not made by women. Right, now wheel pottery is something women were not allowed to use. Wheel pottery, I don't know how we reached this conclusion, but this statement is there at a lot many places. So let's note it somewhere कि wheel pottery is not something which women made, but woman was the one who basically maybe started making pottery. She was the one who started figuring out how to make a house or something, and since she is basically figuring out, man is coming back in the evening with the food and all. He is not in the mood to talk, right? He is like, you do whatever you want to do. So he is not involved into decision making. Decision making is with the woman only, right? And a man is out whole day, right? And either he is, taking animals to herding or something, or maybe he had gone hunting. He is not involved in what to be done at what is to be done in the house, and he is not involved into decision making. All innovation, all decision making is with the woman only, and that is the reason we assume, we know, we believe that this is a matriarchal society. Yeah, so yes, so matriarchal, so it is a matriarchal society. The decision making was with the women, not men. This is the understanding we have till now. Maybe tomorrow we'll get something, we'll get to know here also we had patriarchy. Maybe later on it will change, but not today. Right, for you or UPSC preparation, definitely it was matriarchy. Yeah. Also, as now we have you can say slightly discussed, कि there is to some extent or to a large extent there is a division of labor. Yeah, division of labor. Man is for hunting and herding, and woman is for the for cooking, or you can say looking after the house, and all the decisions and all was with the woman, right? It is not like a woman. By the way, woman is also into agriculture. The responsibility of agriculture is on woman. Responsibility of hunting and all, because she's at the house, she's the one who is looking at the crop and all. Right? The responsibility of agriculture is with the woman. Responsibility of herding, responsibility of hunting is with the man. Right? Again, it is not like man cannot do the agriculture or woman cannot go for hunting. Somehow this is basically, you can say, this is the sharing of responsibility in this particular era as far as we know today. So there is some division of labor. Yes, even children, what children will do, there is no school, right? They don't have to go to school, so they will basically assist. Maybe if there are, let's say, simple 2-3 animals, 4 animals, they will go for herding nearby. Right? They will go and play and herd the animals. Even you must have seen, even today, a lot of movies you have seen, that there is a small boy with the 4, 5, 7 sheep, and he's taking it somewhere on the mountain or somewhere, right, and herding it. So even children will be involved with the herding. One more thing they do, what? They ensure that the crop is not eaten by the birds, right? So they will flee, they will basically drive away the birds, so drive away the birds. So that is also one of the responsibility with the children. So we also have a division of labor. Yes, we also have division of labor in the Neolithic era. So now we have discussed all the traits and characteristics. If we understood this, shall we go ahead with the sites? Now let's get to know some proofs. How to prove this, whatever we have discussed. Yeah, are we all aligned to this part, everyone? Yes, you can use today's tribal people as the example. Even today we have such tribes who do this, Bakarwal and Labadis, Gonds, right? Yes. Yes, shall we? Okay, let's go ahead. So now we have seen all this. So tribal and all, women, men, okay. Evolution of society we have discussed. So now this Neolithic thing is done. Now let's talk about the sites. So Neolithic sites. So one of the best site, I'm again inculcating NCRT discussion. NCRT has discussed Mehergarh in detail. So let's start with Mehergarh. Yes, Mehergarh. Mehergarh, you can consider that Mehergarh is more like a center of innovation. Somewhere over here we have Mehergarh. Coincidentally, Mehergarh is near, actually you cannot enter into India from this side except at 2 places. One is Bolan Pass. Bolan Pass, which is your Mehergarh, right? And close to Mehergarh, very, very close to Mehergarh. And one is Khyber Pass. There are only 2 ways you can enter into India. Yeah, Khyber Pass is close to this side Kabul, this side Peshawar, or you can say Takshila and all. Right now, this is Peshawar. Right, we are not worried about them right now. We are worried about Mehergarh. So Mehergarh, so you can come into Mehergarh from this side via Bolan Pass. It is possible to reach Mehergarh. Why I'm telling you this? Right, I don't know. Right now, let's figure it out. So now to Mehergarh. So Mehergarh is actually in a very, very fertile plain. This is near Bolan Pass, near Bolan River, and it is actually Kutchi Plains. Yeah. Yeah, Kutchi Plains near Bolan Pass, and it's a very fertile area. So what we have over here, this area is is the place where around 7000 BCE we started to have agriculture, and we started to grow wheat, we started to grow barley, we started to grow cotton. So one of the earliest site, in fact, the earliest site in India where we have wheat, barley, and cotton, right? This is the place. How they got to know? How? Right now, to maybe, this thing was figured out in Syria. Syria. In fact, wheat is something. Okay, here only. Let's make it. Yeah. And this is Saudi Arabia, and there are two rivers, Tigris and Euphrates. Euphrates. Actually, the wheat was first, developed or first domesticated in this particular area between Tigris and Euphrates. So this is the point where wheat was, it was domesticated or found in the world. And then it makes sense. It makes sense. From this place, this idea basically, gradually got transferred, and via Mehergarh, it came to India. Yes, so Mehergarh is the first place where we find wheat, barley, and cotton. In fact, even today, Mehergarh grows so much wheat, it is called as wheat basket. Wheat basket of Baluchistan. This is Baluchistan area. Right on Hamza Mazari type, है ना, Baluchistan. है ना, Baluchistan. है ना, the wheat basket of Baluchistan. So it is called as wheat basket of bread basket of Baluchistan. Reason even today Mehergarh is known for production of the wheat. Right, we have a lot of wheats. We have a lot of wheat over here. Yes. So one thing is wheat. Another important thing is they also figured out cotton. Earliest evidence of the cotton, yes. So wheat and cotton is something which started from Mehergarh. So technically you can say that Neolithic actually entered India, right, via Mehergarh. So Mehergarh had Neolithic, or the earliest Neolithic site we have in India is actually Mehergarh. Yeah, Mehergarh. So now, Mehergarh, coming back, yeah. So Mehergarh. Now Mehergarh will say, we'll see, it is very much advanced. It will have houses. Mehergarh has these houses. This is not AI image, right, on real image. They use sun-dried bricks to make these houses. Yes, and now these houses, you realize, this is how it will look like, and this is from NCERT. So these houses had these compartments, and one of the compartment might have been used as a granary. It is basically wheat over here. One of the compartment was being used as a granary, and they were storing grains, wheat, and all over here. Yes, so granary. So one thing is, they have sun-dried bricks. They have houses made of sun-dried bricks, and inside the house they have granary as well. Yes, so they had a granary. Yes, they had a granary. Now, so this is something, this is Mehergarh area, and from here somewhere you can enter, right, via Quetta to Mehergarh. Right now, this is the bread basket of Baluchistan. The discussion which we are having is around 7000 BC. So now again, so house and pottery. So they have house, they have pottery. Yes, even they have pottery. So granary, pottery, both we know. Now, other than that, what we found, were they domesticating animals? Wheat, barley, and cotton we have already seen. Were they domesticating animals? Yes. So we have found a lot of graves. Now this is one of the burial, and this burial has the human skeleton, and it also has goat. Right, goats are also buried. So they were also into domestication of animals. Sheep, goats, cattle, all these we have found in these graves. And since we find graves, grave good inside the grave, that also means that they also believed into afterlife. Yes, so yeah. So another thing is domestication of animal. Initially, sheep and goats dominated. Later on, cattle will dominate. Yeah. Then we found burials with animals. Yeah. So this is one of the best site which we have in Neolithic era. So now, so this idea basically came from Mehergarh, and gradually it got spread, and it will reach Kashmir area, it will reach northeast area, and it will reach southern India. And again, we understand if this is happening around 7000 BC, it will take some time to spread. Yes, it will reach northeast part roughly around 2500 BCE. Yeah, it will reach south part roughly around 2500 BCE, and it will reach Kashmir part roughly around 2500 BCE. Yes, so roughly what we have seen, कि है ना कि हाँ, the spread will be by 2500 BCE, but roughly we can say कि हाँ, the Neolithic age started around 6000 BC. Right now, say around 6000 BC, we can say कि हाँ, we had Neolithic in India. This is one side, which is Mehergarh. Another side is Kashmir side. Now let's go to Kashmir side. Yeah, Kashmir. Now in Kashmir there are two sites. One is Burzahom, one is Gufkaral. I'll continue in the same map. Later on, you can study from this map as well. And right now we were discussing Mehergarh and Burzahom and Gufkaral. Yeah. So there are two famous sites in Kashmir. One is Burzahom, one is Gufkaral. Not up to scale, but roughly it's fine. Burzahom, Gufkaral. Now, why they are famous? Burzahom, first of all, Kashmir sites, and they are very, very cold. Kashmir sites are famous for pit dwelling. Yes, they are famous for pit dwelling. Both of them are famous for pit dwelling. And Kashmir sites are also famous for bone implements, bone tools. Yeah, bone tools. They are having bone tools, bone implements, and especially what bone they are using. You must have seen deer. Deer has a antler, and there is one more type of deer called Barasingha. It has so many big antlers. Right, another seeing and all. And also they basically use these antlers along with the other bones and all, and they had made tools out of the bone. Right, so they are famous for this as well. Another thing for which they are famous for is they also have ceramics. Ceramics is pottery, grey pottery, you can write. Grey pottery. Yeah, grey pottery. So Burzahom and Gufkaral. Now Burzahom is famous for one more thing, very, very famous, is that there is a burial where even a dog is buried. Now it's a very, very common thing to have an animal inside the grave, right? Like sheep, goat, whatever. But dog became famous, right? Why? Because it's very surprising why the dog was buried, whether the dog was alive when he was buried, right? Whether he was alive when he was buried or he was killed to get buried, right? Maybe the person is the owner of the dog, right? So there are a lot many questions, but the person who could answer is dead, right? Or basically those who could answer are dead. So we don't know exactly how he was, whether he was killed before the death or after the death, or he was buried alive or not. But there is a dog. It basically struck a lot of curiosity and it became famous. Otherwise, it is a very common phenomenon to have animals inside the grave. In fact, there are other places where we have found a dog inside the grave, but the Burzahom was first one, and it became famous. And since it is famous, it is written everywhere. So now this can also be asked in UPSC. है ना कि हाँ dog inside the grave. Dog inside the grave, right? So this is like very you can say shocking, surprising. Yes. So Kashmir culture we are discussing. So weapons made up of bone is one important thing. They have pit dwelling, ceramics, right? Microlith and all are absent. Yes. So Burzahom we were talking about grey pottery. Yes, and these type of bones, and domestic dog buried with the master. This is something we have found. Same is Gufkaral. Yes, Gufkaral has one more thing. Gufkaral has graveyard inside the house. Yes. Now this is, you can say, very unique because in general we don't have graves inside house, and now we keep it outside. But in Gufkaral there is a grave inside the house, which is like, bit striking. So it is also one of the important feature of Gufkaral, right, or the unique feature of Gufkaral. So these three sites we have in the northern side. Now let's come to northeastern side. Northeastern side, eastern side and northeastern side. So let's start with northeast. There is a site called Daujali Heding. Again mentioned in NCERT, Daujali Heding. Yeah, somewhere over here. Daujali Heding. Daujali Heding. Right at extreme east. So Daujali Heding, this is basically Assam. Now this Daujali Heding is connected to Myanmar. It is also connected to China. And people living over here were actually going to China. And they were getting this stone called jadeite, right? Some crystal type of stone, some you can say beautiful green stone they used to bring. Maybe it was the anniversary, right, or the wife's birthday, right? We don't know why he was doing so much effort, right? Something was there, right? They used to go to China or Myanmar or somewhere, right? And they used to bring things from there. So we also find that though it is tough, there is no train, no plane, no cart, nothing. But on foot they used to go and they used to get these stones. So one of the important element which we have found over here is jadeite. So jadeite. So one thing unique thing is jadeite. Jadeite. Another unique thing is this one. You must have seen this thing in Ayurvedic shop or basically homeopathic, not Ayurvedic shop, Ayurvedic clinic and homeopathic clinic, where they basically create some medicine mixture or something and all. Right, and so this thing, pestles and mortar. Right, so this pestles and mortar, this is also we have found over there, which means they were creating some mixing some grain or something, right? And so some indication of agriculture is here as well. Anyway, the two unique things of Daujali Heding, one is jadeite and other is pestles and mortar. Pestles and mortar, it is believed, and as per the historians, this is an indication of agriculture. Now let's come to Bihar. Bihar has one site called Chirand. Now Chirand is basically, you can say, close to Patna only, right? On the northern bank of Ganga we have Chirand, southern bank of Ganga we have Patna, right? So it is that place, very fertile, very good place. Yes. So Chirand also has same type of bone implements. What we were having in Kashmir, bone implements that Bara Singha Singh and all. Right? So Chirand. So Chirand is also known for bone implements. In fact, it is the only site other than Kashmir sites where we have bone implements. So Chirand. So Chirand we found bone implements. Yes. Now again, now comes the one of the most important place other than Mehergarh, which is Belan Valley. Belan Valley. This place in UP, south of Allahabad. Belan Valley. Let me show you Belan Valley. Belan Valley. Right, na? So Belan Valley. So one is Allahabad, right? This is Ganga River. South of Ganga River, there is a Belan River. And valley of Belan River is Belan Valley. So there are few sites over here which are very, very important. One is Mahagra, one is Koldiva. So Koldiva and Mahagra, both are in Belan Valley? Yes. So Koldiva, Mahagra. So Belan Valley has two sites, Koldiva and Mahagra. For a very, very long time, right? Even NCERT mentions this. They are the one which is the earliest evidence of rice cultivation. Earliest evidence of rice cultivation is Koldiva and Mahagra. राइट ना कि हाँ roughly around yeah, roughly around 5000 BC, we were growing rice over here. Yeah, rice. So rice. Now again, before we go further, think about this. Ki this area, even today, you think about this. Ki Rajasthan, MP, Western UP, Punjab, this area is known for wheat production. Right, Rangi, this is the staple. The staple crop over here is wheat. And as you go eastern side, as you go to Bengal and Bihar, and a maj bhat, right, another chawal, rice. Rice is the staple food or the most important food, very important food. Rice, without rice, the food is not complete in eastern UP, in Bihar, in Bengal. Right, the Bihar, Bengal has this you can say tendency or inclination towards rice, while the western side has inclination towards wheat. Right, now this is developed. This got developed over here only. Reason is कि हाँ, this area is good for wheat production. This area is good for rice production, and that is how even today we have this tendency that the eastern area we have rice, and the western area what we have basically wheat. Yes, now again coming back. So earliest evidence of rice is basically Koldiba and Mahagra for a very long time. Now what happened? Around 2012 somewhere, there is one more site somewhere over here. I'm adding here itself, which is Lahura Deva, which tells us that this is the you can say much earlier growing of rice, cultivation of rice. So this is again now earliest evidence of rice, and this tells us that earliest evidence of rice is around 6500 BC. Lahura Deva. So now what understanding we have, that it is actually Lahura Deva. It is actually Lahura Deva, which is known for the earliest evidence of rice in India. In fact, one of the competition we have for rice is with China. China says that they are the one who were the pioneer in cultivation of rice. They are the one who domesticated rice and started the cultivation. Now with the discovery of Lahura Deva, there is a claim that maybe we are the one who started cultivation of rice. So when we discovered Lahura Deva, you must have heard those jokes that there was in train there were three people traveling. One was Chinese, one was Indian, one was British, something like that. So something like that is happening here as well. See here, China somewhere wants to claim that they are the one who started the cultivation of rice. But when we got Lahura Deva, the new discovery around 2012 somewhere, when we documented this, and when we were like we had cultivation of rice in 6500 BC, where China also claims somewhere close only 7000 8000 BC, but they don't have proper proof. They have burnt grain or something. They don't have a very clear information, very evident information ki हाँ, they are the one who started cultivating. So what they said, what Chinese said? Chinese said कि for cultivation of rice, you must have wild rice in India. Wild rice was not there in India. Wild rice was there in China. We were the one who domesticated the wild rice and made it domesticated rice. Then it basically went to India and you started eating rice. Yes, so their claim was relying upon कि we were not having wild rice. If we can prove that no, we were having wild rice as well, then we can win this conversation. Yes, so this also happened. Recently, one more thing happened. Yeah. So again, so what we got to know that in Maharashtra there is a village called Pisdura, and in Pisdura village we got some dung of dinosaur. And in that dinosaur dung, and we researched the dinosaur because it's the dung of dinosaur, it's very important. So we basically did some analysis in the dung of dinosaur, and we realized that dinosaur dung is having wild variety of rice. So if dinosaur was eating rice, long back, very long, 66, 67 million years ago, yes, So then automatically we can say that white rice was present in India. So maybe it was India who basically innovated or figured out rice, and then it was supplied or knowledge got transferred to China. It was not the other way around. We are not very sure about all these things, but this is how the discussion is panning out. So for the time being, what we are interested into, that is Lahura Deva. Lahura Deva is UP only, right? And come over here. So Koldiva Mahagra, Lahura Deva is somewhere over here. Lahura Deva. So in UP only Lahura Deva. Okay, it was supposed to have Lahura Deva, but it's not. Okay, anyway, so let's come back. So Lahura Deva. Now another site which is important in Belan Valley is Chopani Mando. Chopani Mando. Chopani. So Belan Valley has one more site, which is Chopani Mando. Chopani Mando. This is the earliest evidence of pottery. Yes, so earliest evidence of pottery is Chopani Mando. Earliest evidence of rice was Koldiva Mahagra, but now it is Lahura Deva. So this Belan Valley is definitely important. It is inhabited from for a very long time, and here we had a cultivation of rice, and then it will spread into this area, into Bihar, West Bengal, etc., etc. Yes, yeah, okay. So Chopani Mando pottery. So these sites are important. So these were the important eastern sites. Yeah. Now let's come to southern part of India. Yeah, southern part of India. So in southern part of India, there are so many sites, in Karnataka, so many sites in Karnataka, where we found the characteristic, few characteristic things. One is Quans, right? And a Quans. So southern India, there are so many sites over here. Some site in Tamil Nadu, some site in Andhra. And here the characteristic thing is Quans. Querns. Querns. What are Quans? Quans is this. Right, you might have seen this. Right, this is more like silbatta. And sil and batta. Sil, there is some sila, there is one patthar, one huge rock, and then there is batta, right? Another rock, and we basically rub that particular batta over sil. Right, this particular batta is rubbed over this sil. For what? For basically grinding the grains. है ना कि हाँ यू नीड टू ग्राइंड द ग्रेन, है ना कि आटे का चक्की बनाते हैं ना, कि आटे को पहले चक्की में पीसते हैं, राइट ना कि हाँ यू मस्ट हैव हर्ड ऑफ चक्की एंड ऑल, कि हाँ देयर इज सम चक्की, आटा चक्की, एंड यू बेसिकली गिव देम ग्रेन्स और wheat, and they will basically churn it, and they will give you the flour, right ना कि हाँ that flour. So that flour, that type of flour is produced via this silbatta, right ना कि हाँ this quan, and in English it is called as quans. You must have seen it maybe. Now we hardly have this in our house, but if you have ever visited a village, village, you'll find this. They will still use for this for making spices or making chutney. This is a very you can say very common in villages. So quans. So here we have found quans. The first thing we have found is quans. Now quan is an indicator that there was agriculture as well. Yes. So first important thing is quans. Second important thing is ash mounds. Ash mounds. So they must be, let's say there is some settlement, and we are having, let's say we are living there, and we are having some animals as well. Maybe sheep, goat, or let's say buffalo, whatever. So we have some cattle, animals, sheep, goat, and all, and then we have dung. And dung, you understand dung. So dung. So we have dung of those animals. So what we do even today, we make cakes of those dungs. Right now you must have seen again in villages, we make cakes of those dungs, and we basically sun dry it. And we put it under the sun, it gets dried. It is used for burning, and it is used for making fire. So that dung, you must have seen huge blocks of those dungs in villages. Yeah. So same thing was happening here as well. But see, but here also, it was not like it is necessary to stay in this particular area only. At some point of time, they will feel, the land is exhausted, maybe go somewhere else. They will migrate. But once they, migrate, or before they migrate, there is a lot of dung, lot of, you can say, those uplas and all, already cakes and all. Now you will not carry dung with you. Right now, if you are going somewhere, it will not be like, let's take this dung as well. Right now, it's very important, very precious. No, dung you'll get again. Right now, dung is something you'll get again. So you don't have to carry those dungs. So what they used to do, they basically burn those dungs. Yes. So now what we have whole mound of ashes over there. That is the ash mound. Now this is a clear indication of domestication of animals. Also we have quans. That means they were staying over here for a very, very long time. Right, and they had a lot of dung and those cakes and all. Right, and they had quans. That means they were into agriculture and they were also migrating. And sites in Karnataka, we'll come to it. So one of the very, you can say, popular site is Piklihal. Another you can remember is Brahmagiri. All this is in Karnataka. And one is Maski, again in Karnataka. So Piklihal, Brahmagiri and Maski. All three are in Karnataka. Pellets bolte hain? Okay, pellets. Okay. So let me take you to this. Yeah, so we're discussing ash mound like this. That whole mound of ash we are getting. Yes, so ash mound is one thing. Other than that, stone blades, etc., stone guns we are talking about, cattle, sheep, goats, so domestication of animals is also there. So Maski, Brahmagiri, Piklihal, Teklakota, all these are in Karnataka. So Piklihal especially, we have found a lot of ash mounds, right? Ash mounds. Now there is one more site again in Karnataka, which is Budihal. Budihal, and write it down, Budihal. Why? Why this happened? Budihal. Budihal. Now, Budihal. So what happened in Budihal? So Budihal, what we found that there is a stone, and over that stone there are a lot many cut marks. Yes, so many cut marks, and along with those cut marks, there are so many animal bones lying around. What does it mean? And it means that so many animals were slaughtered together at a particular point of time at a particular place. Why we slaughter so many animals together? And it must be like because animals are important for us. If we are killing so many animals together, this must be a party. Right now, they must have, somebody must have thrown a party. Today is my marriage or something. Today is my birthday. We'll have a party, and today we'll have a non-veg party. We'll have a biryani or something. Right now, there was a feast actually, and for that feast, all those cuttings and all was done. With so many animals were slaughtered over there, and basically, Budi Hall is known for feast. So tomorrow, if somebody asks you which site is famous for the feast, for the party, that is actually Budi Hall. Right now, again, Karnataka, Budi Hall. Booty help. Okay, thank God it's saved. Okay, so Booty Hell. So Booty Hell is known for party. Booty Hell is feast. Feast is Booty Hell. Yeah, yeah. Something has happened. Is this? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Right. One more thing. Yeah. So in Tamil Nadu, there is a site. There is one site in Tamil Nadu which is Payyampalli. Right? Na ki Payyampalli. And there is one site in Andhra as well, which is Nagarjun Konda. Yes, so write these two sites as well, because in Andhra we have one site Nagarjun Konda, and in Tamil Nadu we have a site called Payyampalli. Payyampalli. Yes. Now the question is, Anshu is asking, sir, what is the limitation of the Neolithic era? Yes. Now let's think about this. You tell me, what is the limitation of this particular era? Neolithic, what are the limitations? What are the limitations? In UPSC, a lot of time you'll have to, uh, you know, uh, create a mountain out of mole. Right, right, हाँ जो है, you'll have to think in this direction. Suppose this is a question, right, given by UPSC to you, that though Neolithic era, is called as revolution, but it has its own limitation. Suppose this is the question, and it had its own limitations. Then we'll have to explain, and if there is some limitation or something. It worked. Okay, great. Okay, so let's not do anything now. It's okay. Let's go ahead. Oh, okay. So since I have already saved it, let me remove this. No, and let me have fresh import. Yeah. Okay. What are the limitation? I think not surplus production. Very good. Right, Anki, it is not. They are not into surplus production. Right, and Anshu himself is basically saying, one of the problem which they might be facing is they are still not having surplus production. Can we talk about the limitation of the tool? Are we having plow yet? Yes. Are we having plow yet? No. Are we very much advanced in जो है plow or basically agriculture or irrigation? And are we discussing irrigation or something, some agricultural technique or something? No. Storage techniques? No. Right? Then migration, we are still migrating. That means we are not satisfied. We are not fully, you can say, fully okay with the place, and we need to leave. Right? So yes. Permanent houses, yes, we are still living in the temporary house, pit dwelling, etc. Right? We are still very much dependent upon domestication of animals. Yes, barter system, well developed economy we are not having. Right? Also a well developed economy, transport, trade. We can talk about all those things. Also, we understand ki again, food surplus we have already discussed. Diseases, somebody is saying, diseases, right? Is there any medical innovation? We are not aware of. And we are not aware of ki, if there is any medical innovation or something. So the most important thing is we don't have writing. The things which we find, you can say, in the next stage, where we have better villages, better communities, you can say better transport or better trade or something. That is something which is not which is missing over here. Yes, so we can call it as a limitation. Yes, what is missing is the limitation. Simple. Okay, let's go back. Don't worry, I have that PDF saved, so I'll share that one. From here, we can continue with the new PDF. Okay, so we were talking about these sites: Piklihal, Brahmagiri, Teklakota, Budihal. Right, and then I told you Tamil Nadu, Payyampalli, Andhra Pradesh, Nagarjunakonda. It is concentrated in Karnataka. Right, and very much concentrated in Karnataka. Uttanur, Kodikal, Teklakota, Sagangallu, Palavoy, Brahmagiri, etc. etc. Okay, Nagarjunakonda and Payyampalli. Payyampalli is in Tamil Nadu. Okay, so limitation you were telling me. Okay, so let's go ahead. For example, one site in Turkey is Katal Huyuk. Katal Huyuk is a Neolithic site. Why are we discussing this? Why are we discussing Turkey? It is not important for us. UPSC is least concerned about any Neolithic site in anywhere in the world. Right, but this one is written in NCRT. Right, so similar houses here also we have. This is Katal Huyuk. They were also getting things from from long distances. They are getting things from the Mediterranean Sea and all. Radana Katal Huyuk. So yes, this is one example UPSC NCRT had given. So yes, just know that there is one site called Katalhuyuk in Turkey. And I just know it, right? And nothing else. Now think about this question. The Neolithic revolution transformed not only the economic life of early humans, but also laid the foundation of the settled civilization. Discuss. Yeah. Though I don't want you to think so much about what this word discuss means. Yes, but I'm giving you some idea so that you can start thinking in this direction. Whenever question says discuss, discuss means assume that there are five six friends sitting, and this question is given to you, five six friends, and these five six friends are telling about different dimensions. So discuss means different dimensions. Bring as many dimensions as possible, and just not only bring hypothetical. And this, by the way, this can be you can say possibility as well. It is not necessary that this is the in discussion you can take it to any dimension, right? It can be a possibility, that is also possible. It's not necessary in every question you have to go for possibilities, but different dimension is the first requirement of the question. Second requirement, of course, in any UPSC question is examples. You bring examples, substantiate. Discuss can have the element of debate. Can, may have, may not have debate. If there is a debate, depends upon the question whether you have to debate over it or you don't have to debate over it. But the point is about bringing different dimensions. It is not about bringing negative points, criticizing, etc. It is about bringing different dimensions. Anyway, so the Neolithic revolution transformed not only the economic life. It is not only about agriculture. It is not only about economic life of the early humans, but also laid the foundation of the settled civilization. कि हाँ, the foundation part of the civilization is still further. Right now, there is no civilization yet, but the foundation part, the base part of the civilization, that is sorted in the Neolithic era. And can we discuss this? Yes, can we talk about this? Yeah, is it possible? लिखोगे आप? Again, right now, you should not be worried about how to write an introduction. First of all, let's focus upon the answer. The real answer is the body of the answer, not the introduction or conclusion of the answer. Introduction is how you begin with, right? And a conclusion is what is the concluding remark or something. Right? That is the fancy thing, and forget about all those things. That is the reason I want you to focus upon. I don't want you to have this you can say the barrier over you, right? Limitation over you. Ki haan, technical understanding you don't have, right? Do not think about that. Right? Simply answer. Like this was a question in class 12th, right? And a question in graduation. Simply start writing. Simply start answering. Right? If you want to write a conclusion, you can. If you want to write introduction, you can. Even if you don't write, I don't care. Right? And right now, I want you to focus upon what? Focus upon brainstorming, thinking. Thinking should develop. Right now, brainstorming and writing. You are in the habit of writing, and once you will do this automatically, this is your notes as well. And you can say you can refer to slides, you can refer to class notes, whatever. Right, and do the self study and then write this question. Right, once you write this question, you will have a very clear idea of Neolithic. Everything will connect. Whatever connection we have created, right now, that will come to you as well. Right now, the whole Neolithic will get assimilated inside you. Right now, you'll be the Neolithic guy or girl. Yes. Are we all aligned till this part, everyone? Shall we go ahead? Economic life. When we say economy, right now, what does economy mean? Okay, Rupan. Okay, we'll solve it. Right, we'll discuss economy, but are we all aligned till this part, everyone? What do we mean by a society? What do you mean by a economy? Right, and that's the beauty of history. Right, it connects everything. Yes, okay. So once these villages, started to settle, or let's say when humans started to settle, gradually there will be villages, and gradually there will be community living. Right, and it will not be only rural, but it will be gradually rural community. Correct. But one more thing happened. This Neolithic village. Suppose there is a village. Right now, this is Neolithic. Somehow it got some new information. Information is copper. Right na ki हाँ copper. Suppose it got to know about a new metal, copper. Yes. Now, if a Neolithic village or the village gets to know about copper, it will not be called as Neolithic. It will be called as Chalcolithic. So this Neolithic village will get transformed into Chalcolithic. So gradually after some time, we also have information of copper. Right now, not everybody will have this information. It's a secret information. Right now, this information is limited to some areas, and this is Chalcolithic now. Now Chalcolithic. So now we enter into a new age, which is Chalcolithic. This is advancement over Neolithic. Now, the age of Chalcolithic. So Neolithic we have discussed. Neolithic we have discussed is 6000 BCE to 1000 BCE. Yes, Chalcolithic is actually, this Chalcolithic, this is actually 4000 BCE to 1000, roughly 1000 BCE. Now the point is, how it is possible, sir? Sir, you made some mistake. It should be 6000 to 4000 Neolithic. It should be 4000 to 1000 Chalcolithic. Then it makes sense. Right now it is not making sense. Right now you're saying from 4000 to 1000 Chalcolithic is coexisting with Neolithic. But just now you told us that sir, Neolithic got transformed into Chalcolithic. Yeah, and now let's understand how this is happening. Again. So basically, just now we discussed there is a point called Mehergarh. This is the innovation center. This got the information about agriculture. Yeah, and it gradually passed on. Now we have seen so many Neolithic sites in India, in South India, in Northeast, in Eastern India. Right now we saw Chirand, we saw Koldiva, Mahagra, Chopani, Mando, Lahora Deva. We saw Kashmir sites and all. We saw Pikli Hal, etc., etc., etc. Now this is Neolithic in India. But if over here, let's say there is again some discovery and somebody got to know about copper. Don't you think this information will also pass? Yeah. And Mehergarh is bound to pass, and gradually information does passes. Now Mehergarh will not think, array, it's already Neolithic. Right? Neolithic started somewhere around 6000 BC. But now Mehergarh will not hold it back. No, it's already Neolithic. And let's hold this information back. No, this information will again pass. And see, if I tell you how what is copper, it does not automatically means that you will invent copper. Because copper is something you need to find out. Where is copper? Right? If you just get to know that there is a thing called copper, right? It is basically built out of some particular rock or something. You have to melt that rock, and then you can have copper. Which rock? Are you having that rock? So that rock is also important, right? Which ore or which place will have copper? That is also important. Just information will not help. So now this information will be passed on, and in Rajasthan there is a place where we have a copper mine. We will figure it out. So this area basically will get to know about copper. Not everybody will get converted into the Chalcolithic age. So those of the you can say villages, we can actually use this information and we basically can have copper and all. They will become Chalcolithic. Right now, maybe some places here as well, maybe some random places here and there, but it is not like everybody will become Chalcolithic. So now what we realize is since this information reached India around 4000 BCE. So after 4000 BCE, there are some places, especially Deccan area, Rajasthan area, some area in Bihar as well, which are converted to Chalcolithic. But otherwise, in general, India has Neolithic. Yes, in general, there are Neolithic villages, but there are some places here and there. There are some sites here and there, or you can say a lot of sites here and there, who also got copper, which we can say now are Chalcolithic. Does it make sense? So from 4000 to 1000, they will coexist. from 4000 to 1000, there will be some villages which are Chalcolithic, and there is Neolithic as well. है ना कि there are some villages who have no idea about copper, right? And they are not using copper. Even if they have idea, they don't have copper. तो हाँ, तो they will continue to be Neolithic. So Neolithic and Chalcolithic will coexist. Forget about this thing now. We'll come back to this as well. But right now, let's figure out Chalcolithic and Neolithic. Yes, understood. We'll come to sites, and we'll come to sites. Now, another thing is कि now you got to know about copper. Okay. So now you got to know about copper. Great. Right now, if copper is so good, why are we not saying that this is copper age? Why are we not saying this is a copper age? Why are we saying that this is copper plus lithic age? It automatically means this is copper. Chaco means copper. It automatically means that copper is good, it's a metal, but it could not replace rock. It is not as good. Are you getting a point? It is not iron. Copper is copper. It is not iron. Right now, it cannot replace stones. It cannot replace lithic. So it is just an addition. This is just an additional information. Maybe we can have more implements or some tools of copper. Maybe we can have some bartan utensils of copper. Right, maybe there can be some advancement, but this is not going to change everything. This is not a revolution. This is not a drastic change. Okay, we got the first metal. Agreed, we've got the first metal. Right now, we will be making few articles, artifacts out of it and all. But it is not going to change our life drastically. One thing which can change our life drastically is if we add tin to it. If we add tin to copper, then this becomes bronze. Bronze is good, amazing. But to add tin, we need to have tin. Right? We don't have tin. Right, in India, we have scarcity of tin. Right, and so tin is not available. Copper is available. I'm saying that knowledge itself does not materialize into now we will have it. Yes, so copper plus tin, bronze is strong. It is good, right? And it changes a lot of things, but not copper only. Copper only is not strong enough. You cannot have a sword of copper. Right, copper is not as strong. You can have a proper sword, good sword of copper. If you have a copper sword, if you go into Mahabharat, into a war, right now, if you make first strike, your sword will bend. And then you'll be like, sorry. Right now, let me straighten it. Let me get back to you. Right now, whole time. And all those things will happen. So you cannot have a proper war. You can have a war with copper sword, but not a proper war, not a great war with copper. You need iron. You need basically iron for it. Yes, maybe the Divyastra Arjun was searching was iron. Right now, he wanted to have very, very strong arrows, and that has to be iron, not copper. And maybe he was looking for iron as Divyastra. But we'll come back to those things. Let's continue this. The Chalcolithic age. So Chalcolithic age, we are realizing now we got to have the knowledge of copper, and we will make few things from it. Right now, for example, there is anthropomorphic figure. This is again a very common figure we have found in the whatever artifacts we had from this age. Right now, this is anthropomorphic figure. Exactly what it is, we don't know. It looks like some human standing, but exactly what is the purpose of this anthropomorphic? Is this some weapon or something we can hold like Baghanak of Shivaji, and we can have war or something? We don't know. Or maybe some of the historians believe that maybe it was used for killing birds. We used to throw it to kill a bird, and then it will, like boomerang or something, might have come back or something. Right? So we exactly don't know what is the purpose of it. Also, right, celts and all. We are still making celt. Now we are making copper celt. Now we are copying. Whatever type of you can say stone tools we had, now we are trying to make it with copper as well. But is it going to be as useful? Right, on a copper celt, if you start to dig, you can say the land with a copper celt, gradually that copper celt will bend. Right, so it is useless. So now we are making something like this, bar celt, copper celt, etc., etc. Then we are also making some sword, antennae sword. So we also found some antennae swords. Some swords and all are there. Right, and not great for fighting, but at least whatever we have, right now, whatever we can. So we have some antenna sword as well. Yes, we have some antenna sword as well. Yeah. Now, Some harpoon and all also we have. Yes. So now basically we are using this knowledge to create some copper artifacts. But as I told you, ki haan, these are like good to have, not must to have. It is not drastically changing anything. So now coming back. So there are some copper artifacts like let's say copper celt, antenna sword, harpoons for killing fishes and all, anthropomorphic figure and all. That are something like that we are going to have. Yes, now again, the point is कि हाँ, this Chalcolithic came much later, right? Na? So this is, you can say, addition over Neolithic only. So Chalcolithic and Neolithic, slight difference what we can feel over here between Neolithic and Chalcolithic. Chalcolithic is much more advanced. That is the only thing we can feel. Right? Chalcolithic villages are comparatively advanced villages than the Neolithic village, but it is still a village. So Chalcolithic is known for rural community. Yeah, rural and community. Now we can say that proper villages, large villages are being established, especially in peninsular India. For very first time, we will observe large villages. So large villages are being established. This is the you can say contribution of Chalcolithic age. Right, we have large villages as compared to Neolithic, because Neolithic is the nascent standing, right? Somewhere who knew nothing, right? Some village or basically some community who had no idea of agriculture or something. Just if they start doing agriculture, it is Neolithic, right? And that's basic. But once they are properly settled, right? In the huge area and all, right? They have much advanced agriculture, much better agriculture than Neolithic, right? They will have some settlement planning. So here, this community will have some settlement planning. It is not random, right? It is not random. This is my, you can say, my village, my home. This is your home, right? Now you can make it anyway, right? Now this is not right. It's not random. It's planned. So now what we have is village planning, settlement planning. There is a house, and after some, you can say at some distance there is another house. Right, na? His door may be, to the other, or his door may be this way, his door is the other way, and his door is this way. Right, something like that, some type of planning. Right, there is a proper gate as well. Yes. Yeah. So now we are realizing now there is some settlement planning thought process, how to make a house, how to make the settlement. Right, where to create a house, where not to create a house, who can live into which area. Such type of planning is happening. So village planning is happening. Yes. But are we having burnt brick? No. Same mud brick is continuing. Right now, the mud brick, same thing which we have seen earlier. We still have mud bricks. Mud. We still have mud bricks only. Same mud bricks we have seen in the Neolithic era. But here we figured out few other things as well. For example, one of the type of house we are making is wattle and daub. Right, in a wattle and daub type of house. This thatch roof, mud roof, this we have seen earlier as well. But now wattle and daub, even today we have such houses. There is a strip of wood. So first of all, the framework of wood is being created, and then they will mix dung and clay and soil and whatever. They will make it. You can say they'll mix it. They will wet it, right, and they'll put water inside it, and then they will chop over it. Right, they will fill these gaps, and then they will let it dry. So now this after drying out, this will become proper wall. Right, not a good wall, but it's a proper wall. Your mixture got filled into it. This is wattle and daub method. So they also have wattle and daub method. Yes. So mud bricks are there. Normal circular round thing. All these things are there. But one more type of houses we found is wattle and daub. In fact, now we also gradually we also seen Chalcolithic age at some of the places, not everywhere. At some of the places we also have mud fortification. Oh, this is surprising. We also have mud fortification at some of the places. Why fortification? Right now, why fortification? maybe we are, and that also mud fortification. Now it sounds like mud fortification is very weak thing. Right? What a mud fortification can stop. But first of all, it can stop animals from entering into the area. Second, it at least restricts the entry of the people. Right? Maybe it cannot stop the entry of the people, but at least it creates a restriction. A lot of places we also find that they have first of all created mud fortification. So let's say there is a mud wall. Let's say this is a village, and around the village there is a proper wall, mud wall, and for the sake of protection they also created a moat. They will dig this area and fill water into it, moat, for extra protection. So now these villages, whatever they can do, and today we think about big cities or their fort and all. But at that point of time, this was a fort, right? Now this is a mud fortification, and for the protection of that mud fortification, also they will dig a moat. Then they will dig, you can say a trench around the fortification, and they'll fill water in it. Yes, so that at least animals are protected, right? Animals are restricted or animals are stopped, and even humans, right? And it is not easy. Nobody will be like, they will come inside by drenching, inside the water or something. They'll think whether to go inside or not. So it is some type of, you can say a good restriction, or you can say some type of good protection. Now, somewhere we also understand that they are protecting something. Yes, they are trying to protect something. That means now you can say there is some rudimentary concept of wealth. What they are having is precious. Right? They need to basically prevent it. They basically need to protect it. That security, that safety is important, and for that reason they are creating fortification. If that thing is happening now, can we assume that there must be some type of social inequality now? Social and economic inequality. Can we assume this? Can we assume there must be some type of inequality? Because now it seems like this wealth is important. They are protecting something. They are making their whole you can say settlement safe or something. Maybe seems like there must be some type of inequality. We are assuming right now. Later on we'll see whether it is there or not. Another thing is now since we are assuming that there is some wealth, right? One more thing is happening is now because we are living with each other in the community. So like we have seen tribe, and we saw they have this style of living, a style of wearing clothes, attires and all. So even now in these villages, because we are looking at each other on the daily basis. You are my padosi, you are my neighbor. I'm looking at you on the daily basis. So gradually we'll feel like, and I will feel like you don't look good. Right? You basically you need to take bath, right? Or I need to take bath. So because we are looking at each other on the daily basis, now we need to look good as well. Right? Now we'll bath daily. Right? Earlier also maybe we were bathing daily, but here it is important not only bathing but combing our hairs. Right? Putting some ornamentation, putting some maybe kajrare or something. So now this beautification. Now we have found comb over here. Right, we have the comb over here. Daily basis before we step out of the house, we will comb our hair. Right, because we are looking at each other on a daily basis. If you are looking ugly, automatically I understand I am also looking ugly. Right, at least if I understood this, then I have to go and comb my hair. So I'll comb my hair. So yes, the combs and all will be found. Yeah, and most important thing, this rural community, they are very much focused upon ornamentation. It is not like ornamentation was not there earlier. We were talking about beads, you can say, mala and all, right? Necklace and all, bone necklace. But now it is like how beautiful necklace I can have. Right now, might be there is a discussion. See, he has got a beautiful necklace for his wife. Right now, you do nothing, and I have a photo as well. Right now, yeah, the wife taunting his husband. Right? You keep on sleeping. Right now, see, the Padosi has got this necklace for his wife. This necklace is so beautiful. Get something for me as well. Our anniversary is there. So now this husband is like worried about, I need to get some precious stone, right? Some crystal or something. Right now, it should good look. It should look good so that I can gift it to my wife. Right? Or maybe I should wear it, whatever. So now this ornamentation is getting important, and now this beads, because that necklace has beads, then those beads will be if a very loving husband, he will get some semi precious stones. Right now, maybe some precious stones. He will find some crystals, etc. Right now, carnelian, statite, quartzite. So gradually they are figuring out. And now somebody got the crystals, he got it, and he had given it to his wife. Then other wives are taunting their husbands. He got those crystals. I also want this. Otherwise, there will be no food in the house. Something like this is happening over here. Yeah, so ornamentation, gradually this ornamentation kept on increasing. So this village, this you can say, this Chalcolithic village, this is basically having this type of ornamentation, decoration, combing and all. Right now, all these things are at least shells and bones. And if the husband is Nakara, right now getting nothing, so at least shells and bones they are using for decorate themselves. If the husband is, very, you can say very caring husband, very good husband. By the way, this is a joke. It is not necessary husband was getting it. Maybe the wife was also getting it. Right now, this is only in our context, so that we can relate. So yes. So in our patriarchal context, yes. Okay, writing and all, of course, no writing, etc. Writing is too much to ask. Why do we need writing? So writing is not at all required over here. So now let's talk about economy. Economy of Chalcolithic village. So you had a question. What is actually economy, sir? So economy. Chalcolithic village. Another thing is, another element, economy of the Chalcolithic village. Whenever we say economy has three elements. First element is agriculture. Second element is livestock. And third element is trade. So whenever the question asks about economy, you have to think about, you have to think about these three things. And one is that husband is very nakara, right? Sleeping for last 4-5 years. Right? He is not getting up. Yeah. Okay. So agriculture, livestock, and trade. So whenever the question asks about economy of any era, you have to think in these directions. What are the development? What are the crops in agriculture? If there is any technique in agriculture, livestock, what are animals are being you can say domesticated over here. And third, what type of trade there is. Right? So whenever there is something upon economy, right now you need to discuss three things. So now the agriculture. So let's talk about agriculture. Now, the agriculture here again, it is not, you can say, very well developed. It is not like we are still having plow or something. We are dependent upon slash and burn, that is shifting cultivation. So one thing what we are having is, one of the common thing is being practiced, which is slash and burn. Right, and also known as jhum cultivation. So one of the thing is slash and burn agriculture. Slash and burn. You understand slash and burn, right? Slash and burn is there is a patch, right? Let's say there is a forest patch. We will basically burn that forest patch. Right? And after burning that patch, we will do cultivation over there. We'll do agriculture over there. But after some time, the fertility of that patch is gone. Yes, suppose there is a patch. We found this patch in forest and we started cultivating. Right? We cultivated. Yes, basically we had burned the whole patch and then we cultivated. But after some point, after some time, the fertility is over. Right? It's exhausted now. So what we'll do, we'll leave this patch, we'll move to some other patch. We'll burn it and then we'll do cultivation. Before leaving also, we'll burn it again, right? And so that it's, it will be fallow for some time. It will get nourished again. And meanwhile, we'll do this. So this is called as slash and burn. Also called as jhum cultivation. Also called as shifting cultivation. This is one of the common basic characteristic of, this particular era. So now agriculture again. Yeah. So one basic thing is slash and burn. But other than that, yeah, other than that, we also have crop rotation. We are basically growing multiple types of 11:45, right? Okay. We are also growing multiple type of crops. So crop rotation is there, and crop diversification. Yeah, one crop, then another crop, then another crop, something like that we are doing, and multiple types of crops we are going together. This is more like diversifying. If one type of crops will not grow, other type of crop we have. Right now, this is like safeguarding. This is more like insurance. So, to crop diversification and crop rotation. So we also got to know crop diversification and crop rotation. Yes. Now this also feels like now we have grown from Neolithic to this point. In Neolithic, we were not concerned about all these things, and we were not having this much information. But gradually, after 2,000 years, 3,000 years, gradually we are figuring this out. Gradually, we have figured out let's not rely upon one type of crop. Right now, maybe we should have multiple types of crop. Let's not rely upon one type of one particular land. Let's keep on switching the land, right? Because fertility keeps on exhausting. We have already utilized this land, so let's move to the other land. Yes, so this is our learning, right? Now, the Chalcolithic age basically shows our learning. Okay, gradually we are doing this. Otherwise, we still do not know plow. We still do not have hoe. Nothing. The crops which we are growing over here. First of all, the Deccan area. This area, this is rain deficit. We don't have a lot of rain in this particular area, especially in Rajasthan as well. So Chalcolithic is in the place in the area where we don't have lot of rains. So if we don't have lot of rain, don't have lot of water, then we will grow crops which are suitable for such climate. Right now, we will grow such hardy crops which can be grown into such a deficit area. So what type of crops we are growing? We are basically growing ber, linseed, bajra, pulses. Right now, and this area is known for wheat, to wheat as well. So ber, linseed, ber, linseed, bajra. But as usual, one side we have wheat, other side we have rice, as discussed earlier. This is same. The sides which are found, Rajasthan side or the western side, they will have wheat cultivation. The sides which we find in the Bihar side, they will have rice cultivation. This is something which will continue. It is continuing even today. So now you see Bengal side, Bihar and Bengal side. It is not only rice, but we also found fish hooks, mache jhol, mache bhat. Right now, the fish, fish is very, very important in Bengal. Fish is also relished in Bihar. So fish is something, even in this era, right? Bengal is known for fish and rice since Chalcolithic. At least we know from Chalcolithic. Maybe they were eating earlier as well. Right now, Bengalis were eating rice and fish from let's say 6,000 years ago or maybe more. Right now, actually 6,000 years ago they were eating rice and fish. Yes, so we had the same crops. We will continue with the same crops. Now again, black soil. This black soil, again Deccan area, the area which we have marked. This black soil is also known for cotton. So one of the characteristic crop they have is cotton. They'll grow cotton. Yes, cotton will be grown. Yeah. Okay. So cotton is important. Yes. Now infant mortality and all we'll discuss later, but yes. Now let's come to livestock. Second element of the economy is the livestock. Now livestock is basic. It is continuing from the previous thing only. We will domesticate everything. Cow, sheep, goats, pigs, right? Na jo hai everything. Yeah. Now one important information, which is a very, very debatable information, is horses. Were they aware of horses? Yes. So maybe in the later stage, around 1000 BC, maybe they got to know about horses. Earlier, they were not aware about horses. Horses is not something which is endemic to India, which is basically indigenous to India. No, horses is something we have borrowed from Europe. है ना. तो they will come from Central Asia, they will come from Arabia, they will come from you can say western side. It is not endemic, this is not indigenous to India. Yeah, so horses in general, if somebody asks us ki haan, were we aware of horses, we should say no. Right now, no, we were not aware of horses until and unless Aryans will come. Right now, before Aryans, there is no, you can say, there is no sense of horses. There may be some donkey or something, possible, but horses in general, no. But again, as I said, ki around 2000 something, Aryans will come. This is parallel to Chalcolithic, so they will get to know about horses, right? Na, ki around 2000. But that is not the original thing, right? Na, ki that is not the original thing. Ki, originally they were having horses, right? Na, ki, he's sleeping, man. He does not need horses, right? So they don't need horses. So the basic animals, cows, goats, sheep, etc. They are basically having. So it automatically means, it does not make sense ki automatically one day we decided to be vegetarian. No, we are not vegetarian, right? We were non-vegetarian for very very long time, starting from Homo erectus, and we will continue with it. We will be non-vegetarian still. So we will be consuming, if we are having domestication of animals, and most probably, most likely, 99% of the case, right, it will be like we will consume animals. That is the reason we are having animals. In fact, here we realize कि हाँ, they were not milking it. This era is not known for dairy products. So livestock. You continue in the same page only. So livestock, we realize livestock is cattle, sheep, goats, pigs, and we were consuming जो है non-veg. Right now we were dependent upon meat, and we are yet to say, we are yet to find out if it is true. But dairy product, we were not having animals for the dairy product. We were having animals for the meat consumption. Yes, so yeah. So even today, goat, goat in Bastar area, they still don't milk the you can say animals. They don't have the animal milk. Another reason is they believe that animal milk is for the child of the animal. It is not for the humans. So they have this strong belief. Goats have this strong belief, and they still do not consume milk. Yes. So yeah. So we realized that this was the era where we were not into milk consumption. We were mainly into meat consumption. And the third thing is trade. Now, this word trade, it is too early to talk about trade. Right now, we are not ready for it. Right now, we are yet not ready for this. Trade is too early. Here we can say, were we making any products? Yes. So instead of trade, let's talk about products. Or better word is for history, art and craft. Yeah, art and craft. Ki haan, were we creating something? Tell me what all things are we creating? Products. What all products are we expecting over here in Chalcolithic age? Pottery. Okay, good. And one product definitely we are expecting is pottery. Pottery. Now this pottery has to be better than cotton, ornaments. Okay, very good. Let's list it down first. Okay, ornamentation is also one of the product. Very good. Ornaments. Cotton textile, yes, correct. Cotton. What else? Pottery, clothes, beads, yes, beads, ornaments. Jewelry, yes, ornaments, very good. Pottery. What else? What else? What else? Seeds, clothes, weaving as cotton. One more thing you forgot. Copper. This is the copper age, man. Copper. right? And we will be making a lot of things from copper, right? है ना? तो हाँ, तो copper is also a product. So yes, तो pottery. So first, in fact, the first product we should be talking about is copper, of course, right? And now we see, now there will be a lot of experts who will be copper smith, or in fact, before copper smith, there will be somebody who will find copper. So there will be somebody who will be expert in mining, and they'll get stones, they'll get they have copper ores and all, and they'll create it. There will be smelters who will melt it, and then they will create copper, and then there will be copper smith. Maybe both are same, but yes, then there will be copper smith who will create some work in copper. Not this one. This is a modern image, right? And like we have seen earlier, है ना कि हाँ your anthropomorphic figure or etc etc. Now there will be such artifacts. Now even copper bangles, right? Like ornamentation of copper beads. If copper is so precious, if copper is so good, why not to have a necklace of copper, right? Now why not to wear it, and the copper ornaments will also be there. Yes, copper ornaments will also be made. Yes, another thing is beads. Right now, ornamentation using copper or semi-precious stones, like we have already discussed. Yes, the ornamentation is one thing. Yes. Now pottery carvers. In fact, ivory carvers, hathi daat. Now this ivory is also what? Ivory can also be converted into beads, and we can wear ivory. right ना? The elephant जो tooth है, right ना? That is also very precious. So that can also be converted into the ornaments. Yes, pottery will come back to pottery. One more thing is terracotta. So pottery and terracotta go hand in hand. Pottery plus terracotta. If suppose if I can make a pot, right? If I can make a pot, then I can also make a statue of this. No, right? That is the same process. कि हाँ, using clay, and if I give a shape to the clay, and if I burn it in the fire, right, it will also become pakka. It will also be hardened, right, sturdy. So it will become what? It will become a toy, है ना? वो मिट्टी के खिलौने, है ना? You must have seen. So that is a clay toy. So terracotta is basically toy made of clay and all, right, which you have hardened in the fire. So that's a terracotta. So if I have the idea of pottery, now it is evolved, and now we are also creating terracotta. We are creating terracotta toys. Now it will not look like Hot Wheels and all, but something like this. Right? Something like this can be made. Now as children ask, even today, I want a monkey. So we'll have a terracotta monkey. Right? I need some buffalo. Right? I need a bull. So terracotta bull. So now we can have terracotta. Terracotta is not IVC. Terracotta will be there in IVC, right? Terracotta is a common thing, right? It will be there as well, right? It will be there at urban places, at so many places. Here also terracotta will be found, right? Another terracotta is found, yes. Another thing is spinning and weaving. Spinning and weaving we have already seen. Now spinning and weaving, so we have found spindles. So basically cotton will decay, right? Cotton is an organic material, it will decay. But what we have found is, we have found the spindles of cotton. Spindles is charkhi. So we have found the spindles of cotton, where we basically created those thread reels and all, and then we made cloth out of it. So we have found a lot of spindles in the Malwa region. We'll discuss sites and all, but yes. So what we realized, this manufacturing of cloth must be very common. Right? People will do manufacturing, and it's a very, you can say, house-based work. People will do manufacturing. So cotton, flax, even silk. This silk is not the real silk, but basically from the cotton plant only. There is a shiny thread. So that is silk thread. So yes, so that is something we have found. As we have already discussed, the discovery of wheel had happened around 4500 to 3500. This also means that by the time we entered into Chalcolithic era, roughly around 4000, wheel was already there. And once wheel was there, it will be helpful for the transportation. We'll figure it out. It rolls very well. I can sit on the wheel. No, I cannot sit on the wheel. Then I can make a cart, right? And I can make a spindle, and then we can roll on it. So gradually we'll have this idea of cart, and gradually we'll also have this idea of transportation. We can go from one place to another place. Now, how much we are migrating, how much we are going from one place to another place, that is something we don't have much idea. But anyway, we can definitely say that there must be some transportation, right? And plus wheels, some transport must have started. Now what happens gradually? Suppose, acha, pottery is left, pottery. Where is pottery? So now, since again in Neolithic era, we had those burned potteries, right? And not so beautiful potteries. Now in Chalcolithic, of course, we are more concerned about the beauty. Right, we can't afford to have a black burnished ware, right? If some guests comes over, right, we cannot show them, we cannot give them water in the black burnished ware, right? It will be so insulting, right? It will be like, उनके घर गए है ना, काले काले बर्तन में पानी पिला दिया, है ना, something like that should not happen. So in this era, we want to have beautiful potteries. So now we will start with painted pottery. कि हाँ, we'll paint it. If it is black, we'll paint it from outside. At least from outside, it should look good. So now we will start to have black and red pottery. Maybe black from inside, but red from outside. From outside, we'll be like how beautiful it is. Yes. So now one of the common pottery which we have over here is black and red pottery. Characteristic pottery of this era is black and red pottery. Yeah, black and red pottery. So now we are having this painted pottery, this concept of painted pottery. Now this pottery is not limited to some vessel only. Now this pottery, you see, now this pottery is evolving. Even dishes, right? On a plates we are having, right? On a bowls we are having, and it is dishes on a stand. It is not only a plate. There is a stand below the plate, right? There is a stand below the bowl. Right, तो हाँ, तो bowl on stand, dishes on stand, something like that. So lota, thali, everything we are making now. Yes. So now this pottery is evolving. There are so many other products. One more pottery, which we'll find in this era is ochre colored, OCP. So one is BRW, one is OCP. Ochre colored pottery. Now this particular pottery, and I will discuss where we find this. It's limited to a particular place. It is basically found between Yamuna and Ganga. And it is you can say a limited area, regional pottery, and only and only done in Yamuna Ganga Doab region, between Ganga and Yamuna. And this ochre colored pottery is the Vahiyat pottery, right? It's not a very good pottery. Ochre colored pottery, first of all, the clay used inside is not very fine. It's a medium grade. Right now, if you break it, it will be somewhere it will be hard, somewhere it will be soft, something like that. Second, this ochre color comes from a rock. Right now, some ochre, some iron ore is there. Right, and that ore or that rock is basically reddish. So they have basically made powder of it and they have placed over it. So it is not well painted. It's not painted. It's there. Ochre is there. Right now, some water and all they have applied, and then they have applied ochre. So if you rub your finger over this, you will have ochre in your hand. So it's not a very good pottery. This is underfired. It has a wash of ochre, and that is how it was made reddish. It's not a very good pottery, and it is basically limited to a particular region only. We'll discuss that region later on. Right, and that is OCP culture. That is a separate thing. But yes, it is found in this era only. Yes. The main pottery is black and red pottery, right? In a BRW. Another pottery basically found in this area is your ochre colored pottery, which is OCP. So pottery. Yeah. So we were discussing one more thing. Let's go back. So I wanted to tell you something about trade. Sir, why are we discussing art and craft into trade? Right, so let's understand. It's a very basic thing, right? You know this, but let me say it once. Suppose this pottery, right? This black and red pottery. Suppose there is somebody coming from some other village and he came to my village, he came to my house, and I gave this, you can say, water in a painted pottery, and in a bowl I served him food and all, and it's red and black, bowl, red and black dish, and he will be like, wow, Radhana, what type of pottery you have, sir? Very, very good pottery. Can I have it? So since he's my guest, right, and he's asking for, let's say, one bowl or one dish, I will give it to him. Yes, he will go back to his village. He will flaunt it in his village, and his village people will be like, we also want this. Now they will come back to my village, right, and they'll be like, sir, I want to have that pottery and all. Now I cannot give these many potteries for free. I'll be like, I'll charge something, right, and can you give something to me in return? They'll be like, हाँ sir, ask. So maybe I'll ask for, let's say, some food, some grain, some wheat. कि हाँ, give me 1 kilo wheat, I will give you one bowl, one your plate. That is how barter will start. And that is how trade will start. Maybe first of all it is nearby villages, but maybe the type of pottery we do is one of the best in the world. So maybe people from outside, from far villages will start to come, from very far villages might start to come, or maybe from outside the India might also start to come, right? That is a possibility. So gradually this trade will happen. Yes, the trade starts with the product only. First of all, you need to have a great product. If you have a great product, you can have business. If you don't have a great product, you can't have business. Also, it also shows specialization. Gradually, it is not like today if I decide to have a pottery or do a pottery, I'll not be able to do great pottery. But if I'm doing it, generation by generation, right? Multiple generations are involved into pottery. Gradually, I'll have specialization of craft. I'll do such pottery or textile or coppersmith works or something. That will be great. That will be something where people would like to spend, right? So then I can have business. Yes. So for business, for trade, one thing important is great product and a specialization of craft. You have great product, and then you can ask whatever you want to ask. Yes. Okay. So this we have seen. So society. Now religion again. Let us finish this. Let me have 2-3 or more minutes and let me finish. Yeah. Okay. So religion. So religion and worship. So now society. So now we are discussing society actually. So society has multiple elements. Society is something, gradually will be able to deal into multiple elements. But one of the element of society is, first of all, hierarchy or inequality. Now, this can be a caste-based inequality. This can be some other type of inequality. But social inequality is the first thing we would like to address. Second type of thing which is important in society, if this is the main question, is gender relations. Whether it is matriarchal, whether it is patriarchal, so gender relations. And third, very, very important element of society is religion. Yes. Now again, this is continuation of Neolithic. So yes, this is still continuation of matriarchy. Yeah, we don't have, you can say, 100% proof to say this, but we believe that it was matriarchy. Now, religion wise, do we have a lot of understanding about their religion? No. Right? Religion is something which is more about faith. Right? Either we get some temples, we didn't get, right? We don't have any temples or something, or some other monument or something which tells about the religion. So we don't have any monument or something which can tell us about the religion or whatever. But one thing we found was female figurines. So two things we have found. One is female figurines, a lot of female figurines we have found. Second thing we have found is bull. Yeah. Now, female figurines, is this connected to religion? We don't know. But archaeologists believe, initially archaeologists said, these female figurines are actually mother goddess. Right? They called them mother goddess. They related it to the present world, present scenario, and related nearby scenario. In Iran also we used to worship mother goddess. Right? And in India also, mother goddess is a common thing. So maybe we were worshipping mother goddess. Like today we have mother goddesses. Like today we believe into, Durga Mata, Kali Mata, like that. So then also, we must be believing into mother goddesses. So they must be worshipping mother goddesses. This is our assumption. This is not proved. This is our assumption. Second important thing, in Malwa and all, we also found bull. Some stylish bull we have found. Right? Also in Mehergarh, Gilan, the Chirand and all, we have found bull. These are terracotta figurines, correct? These are made up of terracotta or ivory. Right? So yes, so mainly terracotta figurines. So now when we found bull, even today we worship bull, right? Bull is something. Bull is an entity which is worshipped in almost all the religion, be it Jainism, be it Buddhism, be it Hinduism. Right, and the bull is a you can say entity or the element which is worshipped in all the religion. So since today we are worshipping bull, so maybe then also we were worshipping bull. The bull is related to is considered a symbol of fertility. So that is how we are always concerned about fertility. So that is how we were worshipping bull. So this is our assumption, both of them, ki mother goddesses and bull. Now another thing, religion. One more thing can be connected to religion is burial. Right, now burial is also considered as a religious practice. Burial or cremation. So here also we have what burial. Now here we find now burial will find multiple type of burials. Here we have simple burial called as extended burial. Extended burial is ki there is a dead body and then there are grave goods. But then there is another type of burial which is called as fractional burial. Fractional burial. Fractional burial is where you don't have full body. Not like full body is missing. Maybe the body is legs are not there, something like that. Or there is one more type of burial called urn burial. Inside fractional burial, where the body is inside a matka, urn. Right now, the urn burial is also there. Right now, then there is one more type of burial called a symbolic burial. Where there is nothing, only matka. Body is not there. Maybe body is missing, maybe some animal had it taken away the body, and it is only to you can say symbolize that particular person has gone. So maybe it's that type of burial. Exactly what is the feeling, how this happened, that is something we don't know. Right now, because we only have the burial. Right now, we cannot guess exactly how this is happening. Fractional burial is also secondary burial. Yes, secondary burial, fractional burial is also called a secondary burial, and that also you can note down. Right, that is one thing. Yeah, so all type of burials we are finding over here. Yes, some unique things. For example, in Maharashtra, body is in north-south direction, and in South India, it is in east-west direction. Even this north-south direction, even we believe in North India that you should not be sleeping, with your head towards north, because that is the position of a dead body. Right, it is believed in Hindu religion ki north south, or basically this direction is for the dead bodies. North should not have your head while sleeping. Yeah, so that type of thing here as well. Yes, we can see ki burial. So yes, so Maharashtra, I was telling you ki it is north south burial, and South India it is east west position. Eastern India we get a lot of fractional burials, right? And this is unburial, right? And inside a matka the whole body is there. Again, multiple burials are there. Joint burials with animals. Yes, this is continuation of Neolithic. So we'll continue. Right, simple grave can be there, elaborate grave can be there. Right, even multiple burials like this one. Ki same grave have so many bodies. Yeah. Also, a lot of time we find a skeleton with some red ochre, like sindoor and all. And maybe there was some thought process, some you can say ritual. Maybe they believe that if they do something, something will happen, right? And it will be purified, whatever. And the burial practices are also elaborate. Elaborate burial practices are there. So these are the unburials. This one is secondary or fragmented. And this is primary or extended. And this is symbolic burial. Burial. So now we have seen all this. Now next is about sites. So now we have to discuss the sites. We'll discuss tomorrow. We'll talk about the sites tomorrow. We'll continue from here. Right, na? So yeah, it took a lot of time today. Okay. Okay, so we'll continue from here tomorrow. We'll talk about Chalcolithic sites. Please do revise. Right, now we'll meet again tomorrow. We'll continue. Yes, anything else? Elaborate grave. When we say elaborate grave itself is not a term. Elaborate is key in general. If we say elaborate, it means ki there are a lot of grave goods in it. right ना कि grave goods बोले तो it's a proper grave and there are let's say some matka, some copper bangles or some other you can say utensils or some ornaments are there, then it's a very you can say elaborately done. Which notes to follow, compilation or your own notes? Both are fine, both are same only. Gangeria will come tomorrow, right? And yes, will come tomorrow. I will discuss tomorrow. So yes, so both are same only. But you can follow these sites, you can follow compilation, both are same. Right now, whatever seems you can say convenient to you, right now you can go ahead with this. Uttam, no, Uttam, someone else was there. Mud fortification. Mud fortification is when you have an outside wall made of mud, right? That is mud fortification. It is not a proper fort like Chittagong ka Killa or something. Right? Not that type of fort. A basic you can say outside wall, and that is more like a mud fortification. Sedentary living story, how it started. Sedentary living is, when we domesticated plant, then we decided we will stay here only. That is the start of sedentary living. How will we make notes? So what we are creating is the one pager. Right now, then one pager is something which is your short note, and eventually you will refer for revision. Right now, that one pager will has the whole story, but it is the story is with you. The points are there. It's more like codification of the subject. The points are there, important points are there, and if you look at those points, you basically relate to the whole story. But initially, you'll have to study the compilation or this one. Right, you don't have to create a lot of notes. In history, it is not at all required, because in history there is so much narration. If I start narrating, then I'll not be able to cover this much. Then I'll have to cut down my content. Then I'll have to say, okay, sir, these many things are homework. Right now, you see it. Some things I'm dictating. Right now, just know important things, and rest is up to you. Since I'm taking this responsibility, we'll discuss everything. Right, this will be exhaustive discussion. So I cannot afford to have discussion, because it is like very, you can say, huge narration. If I'm dictating, I'll not be able to tell these many stories, connections and all. Right, ना? What is a fish hook? अरे fish hook, वो fishing करने के लिए hook नहीं होता, right? That is a fish hook. Right, ना कि हाँ, you catch fishing, no? That is fish hook. Yeah, okay. So we'll continue tomorrow. Please do revise. Also, there are two main questions I have given to you today, and you just have to write. And keep writing. You don't. Right now. It is not important to have feedback as well. Right now, it is important to write. And you are a beginner, just write. And write those answers. Those answers will also become part of your note. Again, Utkarsh, you can make notes out of compilation, but it is not recommended. It is not required. It is up to you. See if it works for you. कि हाँ sir compilation से हम notes बनाएंगे. It is up to you. But later on you'll realize कि हाँ it is not required. You already have the compilation. You already have a short version of the notes. If you want to upgrade it a bit, if you want to write 4 or 5 new things to it, yes you can. Copying down is not going to help. Copying down will give you satisfaction ki I'm copying it down, I'm slowly writing it, I have better understanding. Right, it may. If it helps you, yes you can. But instead, if you go for multiple reading, highlighting, writing then and there only, right, that is better thing to do, because in the end you have to save time as well. But if you have time, you want to do it, and you can. And I'm not stopping you, but it is not recommended. And up to you. Okay, so it's a time-taking process, and since history is bulky, and in fact, in all the subjects, I'll say it is not required. All subjects do not require note making. Note making is required where you have technical knowledge. For example, polity. Right, in polity, notes are important because polity has a different type of language. History is normal language, right? Na, history is not like a particular type of word terminology deemed to be true, due process. And you don't need all these things in history. History is basically keywords and all that basically we are writing. So you don't need to have that type of language in history, right? Na, so you actually don't need to write those type of notes as we need in polity. So in polity it makes sense, but not in history. Okay, we'll continue from here tomorrow. Yeah, please do revise and come back. Yes. Okay. 24 classes for ancient India. Read one of Bhimbetka Renigunta. Abhi start kiya gaya. Okay. See you again. Bye bye. Take care. Good day.